We're on. Hi, everybody. And welcome. I'm Taliesin Jaffe.
I'm Satine Phoenix.
And welcome to Gather Your Party Drink and Draw Edition.
Yeah,
So we're doing kind of a fun, weird thing tonight. It's slightly similar to other things we've done on the channel before, but we're having a much more Satine take on it.
Sexy and artsy? Is
Sexy and
that what
artsy.
you're
Artsy and sexy.
Sartsy.
Sartsy. Exy? No, that's weird.
Moving on.
Moving on. It was a high chat. It was a big thing in LA back when I was growing up, and it's all over the world now. I think where you can get a group of talented people together, get some friends who are interesting to look at, who also maybe own some fun costuming.
It used to be called hanging out, and then they
You had
were
to-
like-minded people who could all draw. That's all they want to do because that's what they have to do in order to work, and it became a hangout after work called Drink and Draw.
Called the Drink and Draw, and they got crazy. Like some of them were like took over warehouses in downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah, the one in LA got really big. I think they franchised, and it's
They
like
might
in
have.
Chicago and New York and everywhere.
And you were running one out of the back of a comic book store, kind of, sort of.
I did Draw Melt at Meltdown, and basically I wanted to draw more and hang out with my friends. It was just a hangout, but it was organized, and we paid models, professional models, and it was really great because some of the artists that came there was a lot of beginners, but there were people that worked for major companies. And what I found out was they don't just work and then do drink and draw, and they don't, or whatever. They actually draw during their lunch breaks. They draw after work, and their work is drawing. And then when they go home before bed, they draw some more.
I figured out that many of them are people who watch some of our D&D shows.
Yeah.
So they go home, listen to D&D, and draw everything. And
they live and breathe it, and that's the key to being an artist, is just never, ever, ever stopping. It's the 10,000 hour rule, like compact.
what is the 10,000 hour rule?
Oh, you can be a master at anything if you do it for 10,000 hours.
I'm embarrassed by the.
It's like 5 years.
The short list
8
of
hours
things
a
I've
day,
done for
5
10,000 hours is pretty depressing when I think about it.
Talking
Oh,
is what you do.
I do.
You did that
Hi.
in a very short amount of time.
I may have been flirting for 10,000 hours too. That was the other.
And here we are today.
And welcome, internet. If you guys like to draw, or if you've never drawn before, I am here actually very specifically. My job tonight will be to be worse than you at what we're doing. So if you have any self-esteem issues, I'm going to show you some of the stuff I do, and it's great to know you're not the worst kid in the class.
It's not about being the best. It's about doing
It's about
your
me
best.
being the worst.
And it's about Taliesin being the worst. It's about doing. Just do by doing, and you get better by doing.
Yeah, practice.
That's right. And you don't have to show anyone.
No. Although,
Except for you.
Although, if you do decide to mark any of us on Twitter and show us what you do tonight, and we have several wonderful models who have graciously brought in some stuff to show off and are going to do some stuff. We're gonna introduce everybody who we have tonight.
Good.
We have a planetoid studded panel tonight. Starting on the far left, who is currently knee deep in whatever it is she's doing. Meow meow. Meow meow. Wave hi to the internet.
Hi, Internet.
Say your name.
Say your name.
Who
Name,
are
rank,
you and
name,
what
rank,
do you do?
affiliation.
Know you.
Hello, I have a name. Right, name. I am Lauren Ipsum. I am an artist and graphic designer.
Where would they know you from? More.
This is the part where you plug yourself.
You're
My
not
brain
bragging.
just melted. I am a designer for the Critical Role art book. I
Ta-da!
paint stuff and draw stuff and I design books. And you can find me on pretty much all social media at Lauren Ipsum, which is Lauren with a Y, by the way.
And one of my favorite typographers.
Mm.
The stuff you do with letters. Woo!
I do like that.
We do. We have a special project we have to work on later. That thing with the circles and the eyeballs.
Wait,
Yeah.
eyeballs?
Well, it doesn't mean-
Secrets.
It's made of eyeballs.
So where are the eyeballs coming
Did you not notice the eyeballs in it? Oh man, we're gonna have a talk. I'm a bad occultist. I haven't been showing you anything. Sitting next to you.
Oh, hello, Internet. I'm Jeff Thorne. I'm actually a writer who can draw a bit. I am the head writer on the upcoming Black Panther cartoon.
If you haven't noticed the theme of the week.
Apparently, they've been talking a little bit about the movie. I don't know. There's some movie that's coming out. And I do
It's a
draw.
fad.
I wrote Mosaic from Marvel Comics. A couple of things for Dark Horse, and I've got a thing called Jeff Thorne's Winterman Comics on Amazon. 99 cents for 12 pages of funness. Go buy it.
Go buy it,
Because,
sure.
you know, my kids don't need shoes, but I like my shoes. And that's that. That's pretty much it.
At some point in the near future on another show, we'll also probably get into how you're responsible for the origin of the Wednesday Club in like a very deep. That you're one of the three people who actually built my taste in comics.
Oh my God,
it's
those
kind
days.
it's kind of horrifying, but
It's
like
before the flood. He's dredging up stuff that, like, I thought all those bodies were buried, man.
somehow I crawled out of that shallow
Out
grave.
of the muck to bring the Wednesday Club to you. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Oh man, yeah. We have to get into it at some point. Now that
Whenever
we've-
you want, brother.
I can't
Whenever you
wait.
want. I love this place, by the way. It's freaking awesome here.
Is it because of fun and all the fun that just is like in the air?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
People don't believe that you can just have that and not be a jerk about it.
No, it's nuts.
Shockingly, that's not true.
Here we roll around in it.
This place is awesome.
I do.
Speaking of having fun and being a jerk about it,
Hi, I am the jerk. Sam DeLev. You may know me from Shield of Tomorrow that was on at 4 today, or our after show Behind the Shield on Alpha. I like to roll around with all of these fine folks,
Yeah.
and you can find me on Twitter at Tchaikovsky, ChaikovSky. And
that was very impressive. I'd never seen you do that.
oh, I can't spell without finger spelling. If you tie my hands behind my back, I couldn't do it. It's like
Test.
the magic foot from 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee.
That's intense. That's very intense. And you're gonna be doing a little modeling for us. Maybe some drawing. I don't know if we're gonna get you on that. Maybe not.
Maybe.
Um,
Definitely not.
I've already.
Who are you and
Who
what
am
is
I?
your name?
I'm
do you do?
I'm Taliesin Jaffe. You can find me at Executive Goth on the internet. I'm a voice actor, comic book enthusiast, and professional Dungeons and Dragons
Handsome
player.
man about town.
Man's man, ladies man, man about town, and several in between and otherwise, and a professional tiefling.
Yeah, I think you
Yeah,
are now.
it's nice.
You can say that.
I can say a professional tiefling. That's nice.
It is, so it
Oh, you're going to be so excited.
Let me
Gorgeous demon creature.
I love this gorgeous
Tess,
thing.
yeah, Tess can fill you all in on that.
Well, she's about to eclipse me.
To my right, as we are slowly making our way around the table,
I'm Satine Phoenix, as I have said.
Mm.
I draw, I comic book, I write, I Dungeons and Dragons, and I am a co-creator of Maze Arcana, and I GM Tips here, and I pretty much do all the things that I dream about all over the world. I just got back from playing Disney in Dungeonland, playing Dungeons and Dragons in Disneyland, Disney
What?
World.
why, I saw that. What were you doing? At, like,
A convention. It was a 24-hour charity event where Rudy and I just like I DM for 6 hours and then tag out, and he'd dungeon master, and we'd go. It was great. Tomb of Annihilation, 24 hours.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
Yeah. And at the end, I was like, why does he get to end it? I want to do it again. I want to keep going because addictions. And that's who I am.
That's real. That's real.
Tess, it's your turn.
What?
It's your turn.
Oh, hi. Where am I looking? I'm drawing. Hi, I'm Tess Fowler, and I'm going to keep drawing while I talk to you because they told me there's a time limit. And this has a lot of flowers on the crown. I'm Tess Fowler, and I make comics, and I'm also a hardcore critter online. So hi.
Woo!
Critter Nation. And that's it.
You got a woo test.
And so much art.
So
Oh
much
wow, there's a
art.
lot of hellos. There's a lot of hellos.
Look,
and-
they love
yeah.
you.
And we love
Tell-
you right
tell-
back.
Oh, Stargaze, I will get
Talk
into that.
to tell us more about your comic stuff.
Yeah, what kind of
Yeah.
you do comics?
Tell us about it.
I make I hate you all. I make comic books and covers, variant covers for lots of stuff you see at your local comic shop every Wednesday.
If I was gonna buy one right now, what would it be called?
Really trying to get me to promote. My most
one.
recent
Yeah.
comic is called Kid Lobotomy,
Right.
and it's with a fine gentleman named Peter Milligan, who has been around for many, many moons and has given me nightmares. So please pick it up.
He's dead.
Tess,
Yes.
if it's any consolation, kid lobotomy has also given me nightmares.
Seriously.
It's the best
Seriously.
nightmares though.
It's an outfit I want to own now, but that's a whole nother story.
There's cosplayers already.
And continuing on our introductions, some friends that you've seen before, currently standing in full regalia. I don't know if the chat room has actually seen what our first.
Look at those ears. I'm ear envy. My ears feel so small right now.
My name is Alexander Ward. I'm a professional creature, monster, and all sorts of things creepy. I also am an avid Dungeons & Dragons player, as it seems to be a theme in the room.
Not just player.
I am
Own it.
a DM.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say actually.
I felt like that was like a meeting. Like, I am a DM.
You sacrifice yourself for the
I do.
fun and joy of others. It's good.
We're all a little obsessed.
We're all
Yeah, we all.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, me too.
I have the Laura problem.
Yeah, no.
Oh, it's okay.
Lots of days.
We understand.
And speaking of the Laura problem, yeah, you did a little. It made me very happy. It made me very happy. Yeah, the little blue makeup thing. It was so adorable.
It was my favorite. I don't know. It just speaks to me on like a internal level, and I had to do it. And then maybe there'll just be more in the future.
Maybe.
Say what it is so that in case people didn't know, then they'll know.
Oh, if you didn't know, I did a cosplay makeup of Jester from Critical Role.
And it was amazing.
It was.
By the way, her name is Brittany.
I was getting there.
What?
My name is Brittany, but I go by Lady Danger on the internet. I'm a streamer. I play video games and I make stuff, and I'm also a professional cosplayer.
Nice.
Is that costume, or both of those costumes, are they from something that we would know, or are they
No,
just
this is
original?
an original
There you
fairy
go.
of mine.
Who
Named
made these
Maple.
costumes?
Yeah, who was it who created these? Lovely. The ensemble.
A lot of different places made the clothes because I didn't do that.
Okay.
But this mask was made by me.
You are.
Thank you for making us
It's
all
got
feel
real
included.
bones and horns, and the rest is resin.
Do you have a horn envy?
No, I'm having a moment of like you. To be fair, also have real bones and horns, and the rest
Yeah.
is possibly resin. So.
Probably true.
Too much information.
Yeah, a fabulous creature actor too, and I know we can't necessarily go and list every credit you've ever done, but you
But
are.
it would take up valuable time.
would-
One. Just give
we
us
list them
one.
all?
Okay, so most recently, the thing that I guess is the most notable that I've done is I work on American Horror Story, and then I just finished filming for the new season of Westworld.
Yeah.
What? Now I gotta watch it.
Wait, what?
What?
Did you not know, Satine? Did you not know this?
If I did, I forgot.
You
Oh my
can-
god, that's so cool.
I'm so excited.
You can find me on
whatever.
Twitter at AlexWard777.
Lots of pictures of you looking like you're going to eat children. It's kind of
That's
spectacular.
50% of my day.
What do you guys world oh my god.
Look like, yeah.
I mean, you look like what you do.
Exactly.
You are what you eat, is what you say.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, so you're
So I'm a
actually the little
child.
child? The tallest
Yeah.
child.
I know. This is what I kept hoping I looked like when I was 17, but I just didn't. This was, and I was trying to remember the first time we met. You were wearing, I believe you were wearing, or the first like.
Nope.
We several times have had drunken Ren Fair cosplay runarounds.
Yeah, you met me in my first fairy. Well,
Yeah, it was the orange-
my first fairy named Monarch, so it's based on like a monarch butterfly.
It was the orange. It was the orange
It was
fairy
the orange
costume.
one.
That one was
and then
spectacular.
I wanted to do one for like fall, so
The
I got
wings,
Maple.
they're durably, you hit him with your wings.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they're
you're good at
super. They're super durable. But whenever I walk around at like a convention or anything, and like somebody just gets in my way, I like to go, "You're a wingman now."
No, that's over now. That's all. No,
And then you're put in convention jail for that awful pun.
terrible fun.
It's pretty.
So they're the wingman. What? I'm the wheelman. I'm the getaway.
The wheelman.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Oh.
I think we were talking about that. You were going to be a backpack for Erica.
Oh yes.
You were going to be a backpack. We were going to put Erica in the backpack and make her go into movie theaters.
Yes.
What?
This works.
Yes, no, it was a thing on Twitter. It was amazing.
It's on Twitter. It's real.
No, it was great because Saks would own a mysterious movie theater, and then I think you, me, and Ivan were going to push Erica around in this backpack, which was going to be you were going to be the prop backpack.
Yeah.
and we
Yeah,
were
I
going
wanted
to
to get
take
into
her
the
to
group.
see all the
So-
movies
Oh, good
that
God
she's
almighty.
never seen. It was a great idea.
I'll be the backpack.
So I'd give.
Chat was wondering how your drawing practice was going, I believe.
Oh, it's going actually really well. So for people who don't know, I completely never drew
All right, I'm trying this.
after they stopped making me do it at school because I did not want to art. I always strongly opposed arting. And back in
This is the weirdest thing to oppose.
I did it wasn't they made me. They
I'm a
made
gimmick.
me and I didn't want to. And I was 13 and that was my one rebellion of my life.
Wow.
Other than that I became an artist. Hey, what's up?
Wow.
But in October, I looked around at all of the fan art that I wanted to see in the world that wasn't there yet, and I was like, but what if I do it myself? Yeah. So I started learning to draw to make the fan art I wanted to see in the world, and so I've been doing that ever since October, so it's been going on for a few months. And I'm making a lot of progress. I'm hoping that I'll have a few character portraits out in the next week or so that I've been working on. And
Wow.
it's been so wonderful, especially to get support from the community, and people have sent me art supplies that have been so useful to me
Oh my gosh.
and encouraging me to try out new media that I might not otherwise have tried, because as everybody in this room can tell you, traditional media supplies cost dollars.
Yeah.
Yes, true.
So
Something we were talking about earlier before we started, speaking on learning how to draw. As artists, we
Chat's so
often
funny.
hear from our friends, "I wish I knew how to draw," or "I'm awful at drawing." Blah blah. Very many versions of that. And the thing is, no one is born learning how to draw. Like that's just not a thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's not.
Wasn't
Were
that
you
one
born
guy?
knowing how to? Well,
I
Most
know
people.
some people.
Most people are not born knowing.
99.9%.
they just make a fey pack.
I was not
really
born knowing how to draw. I was not born knowing how to do graphic design or typography or any of that stuff. It's practice. That's really what it comes down to. If you want to learn how to draw, you can. Practice.
You're allowed to.
You're allowed. Yeah, you're allowed to. If you're like, "Oh, I'm awful at drawing," we all were when we were learning.
do they need permission? We can give you permission. You have
Tess,
permission.
what is it that you said earlier that? Like,
Oh my
was so
God,
on
Tess! I
point?
don't even want to look
I
at
know.
that.
It's
Oh.
just, I just want to quit.
You said
and-
you said something earlier when we were in the
Disgusting.
kitchen about.
Oh, if you're an adult and you are scared to pick up a pen, paper, pencil, whatever, what I tend to have this conversation with people who are looking to make art and think that they cannot. Everyone, when they're little, draws. They draw big, happy sunshines and, green grass and happy families. And the reason when you're an adult and you pick up a pen, you're drawing stick figures is because that's the last time you drew. So that's all it is. The only difference between me and whoever I'm talking to is just I never went outside. I never had a life. I've drawn forever.
You don't have lives.
Like, there's literally a reason I can do this. I've just clocked more hours at it.
Plus, you're already on the internet.
10,000 hours is
clearly.
what I'm talking
So
about.
You're not going outside either. So you can use that time.
Yeah. To draw.
Oh, I want to thank you guys for leaving your houses, by the way.
Yeah, no,
really
this is you have no idea how difficult this is sometimes.
I don't.
And I'm looking at you, Lauren. Yes.
It's a little. I have many stairs, and this makes it difficult.
So many stairs.
Stairs are the worst.
Thank you, Miss Sunflower, for the birthday wishes. By the way, that was really lovely. So,
When was your birthday?
January
What?
19th.
20th.
That's right.
What?
Happy
We need to have a
birthday.
joint party next year, baby.
You don't have to say how old you are, but I'll say how old I am.
How old are you?
I'm 41.
8.
1 million years old.
Wow.
My sister's January
Yeah.
20th too.
How old do I look?
Yeah, and I'm February.
Tell me it's
20th.
younger, and I'll be your friend for
Way
life.
younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you do. You do not look your age. Well, and you
What's
guys,
LA, the
you,
Fountain of
you,
Youth?
you guys know Captain Maggot, right? Maggie Lally.
What? No.
I may have met her.
She's also January 19th, so we actually have a shared birthday as well.
Yeah.
I know. I keep trying to get Maggot on the show, but she's all out of town, running around, being jet set.
Yeah, we're 3 days
She's all
apart.
over the world.
Too many awesome friends.
All
January.
born in January. What does that say about what our parents were doing in
Nine,
summer?
wait, what was
That
it?
was before.
August?
Oh no.
I can't count. I have no
I can't
idea.
either.
Was
I
it May? Was it spring of the previous? How many months are in a year? What day is it today?
Which
I-
calendar?
I woke up Thursday morning, thought it was Saturday morning,
think
so
it's
I
May.
was completely thrown.
It's the pollen.
There is something about Los Angeles where everyone ages as a deaccelerated rate. It
It's
is
the
very
fountain of youth.
yeah.
It's that smog. It's terrible for the skin, but it makes you last
It's a
longer.
very specific kind of stress
It's a
too.
preservative.
It's mummifying you.
Yeah.
Age.
Don't come here.
I have-
You're
I have
lying.
a-
Don't come here.
It's awful here.
Yeah,
It's
don't come
awful.
here,
It
it's
sucks.
terrible.
Don't ever come here.
I mean, we do actually have. I think there was a study recently. We have the worst traffic. Is it in the country or the world?
It's got to be the
don't
country.
know.
It's the
World can get
You know,
worse.
I've
There are
been.
places with no
It's
lanes.
definitely like actually in the. At least
No, I'm
Thank
gonna
you,
say
Miss
that's
Sunflower.
BS
She
because
She said we're all bog mummies.
we are bog mummies.
I mean, but this is the best incentive to learn to art because I think one of the
All right.
reasons why so many people in Los Angeles look so youthful is so many of them have paintings in an attic.
I actually wanted
Oh,
to,
yeah.
to do an
Yeah.
update called a JPEG of Dorian Gray.
The JPEG. Oh my God.
There's a hard disk.
Paintings.
There's a laptop with a slowly degrading JPEG.
That's right.
That's so perfect, and that's the best image format for that.
Thank you. I know. I was
But
really.
you have to keep the computer alive. That's
yeah,
the,
you have to
that's
keep
the
it running. You have to keep that laptop running, or else
thing-
it's all over.
The thing also that you're saying about the aging thing is the assumption that we're all human and age at a normal rate.
That's true.
That's fair.
There's
So
a
it's
lot
a
of assumptions
mutation.
that
It's an LA
There's
mutation.
many human adjacent people here.
I have no proof my father was my real father. It could have been
Any
anybody.
rumors you've heard that I'm a hologram are
You, I mean, like, I mean, like, you are also like I'm like, you are from a particular group of people, both of you, that I just consider to be like just too attractive. It's just really irritating.
It's all my parents. I have nothing to do with it.
It's irritating, and you need to stop. It's
No,
just-
don't.
I just
Don't,
like
not
to put
now.
stuff on top of it.
Yeah, not until we're done with it. Right now we have images we have to like get it down on paper, and then,
But
and then we
after
can all
that-
cease this.
And she
Capture my
tears the
soul in it.
crown off
Yeah.
and she's like, fine,
I'm done with this.
Oh my God, these two are killing me over here. Jesus Christ, you just brought me out here to brutalize my ego.
I brought you out here because I love the stuff that you post
We
on
have-
Twitter, man.
Oh, I'm so glad to
And because you were like I still wish that the writing that you do, like anytime I think about my writing, I'm like, I just need to be like get to like Jeff 1996.
You're
Good
stupid.
about
That's
myself.
stupid. But it's the same rule. Anybody can be taught how to write competently. No matter what anyone tells you, you can write well enough to sell stories. You can be taught to do that. It's everything above competence. That's on you.
You would not
Confidence.
Confidence and
Confidence.
competence. Yes.
Yeah.
Competence.
you would not believe the nice things people say about this man. They're
I
all
do.
true.
I
But you
believe
should believe them.
Everybody.
But what were we talking about?
how great you are.
No, no.
Oh, we have questions about what materials everyone is using to draw right now.
Well,
Well, this would be a Strathmore.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm freaking out because for the last 8 years I've been drawing on pads like iPad type things or what do you call them? Tablets.
tablets.
Yeah, tablets. And you have to teach yourself. We were talking about this earlier. It's kind of like teaching yourself to draw on glass. It's a lot of versatility. It lets you do a lot of tricks so the finished product looks like you're a fantastic painter when in fact you're really not. And this is the first time in probably 8 years that I've drawn anything seriously with an actual pen and an actual piece
yeah, I
of
thought it'd be a
paper.
fun. I mean, like I was halfway curious if you were going to bring the tablet or not.
I
but-
did, but
But then I offered we had
Yeah.
this out here.
yeah. So
You have
and this is
animation.
fun.
It's so cool. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm just gonna have. It's just like. You know, it's just like, oh, it's like, I was like, I started drawing it, and then I'm like, oh no, this is how I used to draw anime characters, but it's like, I'm doing it right though.
Oh, that's another thing. These two are professional, like drawing people. But my wife came in the other day, and I was drawing something, and the other day, a few months ago, and she just stopped and she was looking at me, and I was like, what are you? What am I wearing? Did I do something? What have I done? Did I break something? Right? Because I'm always breaking stuff, and like truly always breaking stuff, like really always breaking stuff. And she said, you're drawing, and I'm like, I am indeed drawing. You've grasped the situation. And she's like, I just figured it out. She comes over, she kisses me on the forehead, and she says, you do it because it makes you happy. And I was like, yeah, woman, where have you been? Like, I don't make money doing this, right? But the thing is, a lot of people start drawing because they're inspired by artists like these two. And they're like, I want to be a pro at it. They're trying to do it right. Right? They start out trying to do it right. They're going to draw like this person, or I got to be that good instantly, or whatever. But really, it's good for your soul. right? It's good to sit still and look at people and things and really take them in. And the fun of the drawing is you're interpreting them, right? Well, you're kind of both people and things
Yeah.
right now. So
Thank you.
I
You're,
don't identify as a person.
you
Consensual
have
objectification.
you have an objectification.
No, it really is.
It's brilliant, and you have this wonderful floral headdress that is covering the one part of like the human face that I'm terrible at drawing is the top of the
that's
head.
Top of the head.
And you've just put this cornucopia of wonderful fall on top of it that is coming out way better.
Oh, another thing I want to say that what you were just saying reminded me kind of it. I feel like a lot of artists, especially, it's like we have such solitary jobs. We kind of spend like 8 hours a day staring at a computer or staring at a wall or a piece of paper. And because of the amount of alone time, I feel like a lot of artists have hardcore imposter syndrome. I know I do. And because we're so alone a lot of the time, I don't think everyone necessarily realizes that everyone else feels that way. Everyone thinks they're horrible,
Right, that's
basically.
right.
Or like 90% of artists all think they're the worst. But no one really talks about it, that I've noticed. And I just want to say, I'm here to say, like, you're not alone. Everyone feels that way.
Nobody talks about it because they're so busy just doing
stuff.
That, but it's also, we have this attitude that you're not supposed to show any weakness or vulnerability. I think you're not supposed to let people know that you feel not good enough or insignificant or this or that. And just know that just because you feel that way doesn't mean it's true. And so many other people feel the same way. You are not alone.
Yeah.
Weirdly, I have a certain comfort in accepting, particularly as a beginner, just my badness. That embracing it, because so many of the things that I do with my life, I'm trying to be really good at it. Like, I'm trying to be a good performer, a good writer, a competitive athlete. And it's so nice just to have drawing where that is completely not something I'm trying to achieve or do anything with it or trying to be a professional with it. I'm just doing the thing and being happy with it and enjoying it. And for someone who gets very into power gaming life,
I think it's
it's comforting.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
descriptive.
weird to have a hobby.
Congratulations on the hobby.
There's a name for
I'm
it.
sorry. What was the old phrase? Dare to suck.
Yeah,
Dare to suck.
Yeah, dare to suck.
it feels good.
Dare to suck right here.
Stop it. There's
Yeah,
stop it.
yeah.
It is so
No, and like genuinely, I'm going to say this came out way better than I thought it was
Dude,
going
there's
to.
I would like to
right
dissect
There's no
this.
wrong answer. That's
No.
the best thing
Yeah.
about
But
this.
I
That's
really
the
want
best
to
thing about all
dissect
of
this.
Yeah, no, there's
because
a lot I'm very proud of in there, but like I'm definitely like I can feel the places where even from the last time I drew, which was a very long time ago, I'm like, oh, I've got a little bit more of a handle on things.
So the thing about art is you can draw everything literally, but I always recommend
can't, but yes.
like paying attention. Like, okay, what am I trying to say? When I look at this, I see what you're looking at and what you're interested in by how much detail you put into things. Like you see her face, but you're really fascinated with her headdress.
Yeah.
And so you put a lot of attention there.
I did.
You really also seem to like the shape and the lines of his shirt.
Yeah, the vest. The vest was really.
and then
a
the
big
line
thing.
that comes up, the big dark patch here underneath his neck, and then the way it curves up and around, and you can actually
Man
see
needs a cloak.
that. You see that in here.
Thank
It's
you.
really
Yeah, no, that's
cool.
absolutely true.
Man, this is cool.
Look at that. It's great.
You need a half cape. That's like demands a half cape. That
I
outfit.
know, I almost brought my character Ripper.
Ah, bless you.
It's
This is gonna
beautiful.
make me too formless, though.
Another sentence that will never be said by anyone. I almost brought my Jack the Ripper with me.
This is why I love this place so much.
Tess is killing it right now.
I know.
Feeling it.
Tess is
I'm
not.
so
You're
great.
killing. I don't even want to look.
Killing
She's a
it.
murderer.
Hiding the body. Just
I
extraordinary.
have so I ran the drawing class at Meltdown
go
for a
on.
really long time. Lauren was
Yeah, maybe.
when I started filming it. Lauren was the model, and I would interview artists, different comic book artists, and we would sit and draw her like for 2 hours.
And I was-
so
Would you talk?
we had like 15 different artists, and there's like a million different versions of her out there. It's pretty
That's
cool.
fascinating.
And I invited to this
I
party.
didn't know you then.
I wanna
Hey, you want
go
to
to
come to
this
a party right now? The one that
Yes.
you're at?
The one that come to the party you're
Was
at.
that one of the ones where you did the transmet with that crazy transmet?
Yes.
Yes, and that's
Yeah.
back when I was too afraid
It
to
was
draw
cool.
in front of other people.
Yeah, so she modeled instead.
And now you're doing
Progress.
things like Project
Could you
Pixel
draw that well
and drawing for the whole
back then?
internet.
I could draw. I mean, I'd done it my whole life. But I stopped drawing for a little while and kind of got sucked into graphic design,
okay.
which I don't regret. But it was this thing of like I was that AP kid in high school, and you're supposed to grow up and get a real job. And
That's adorable.
which turned out to be like one of the biggest lies in the world. And
Yep.
Yeah.
at least in my school, anything art related was not exactly encouraged.
No.
And so once I went into college, so it was like, okay, this is the closest I can get to art while still doing a real job. And luckily, it turns out I really love graphic design, but
And you're good at
there was a point when I learned, because of some health stuff that happened in my early 20s, a lesson I learned the hard way, but it's still a very important lesson, is that we have a very limited time here on this Earth sphere, and the last thing you want when you're looking back at the scope of your life and everything you've done is to realize you did everything you were supposed to do and not the things that you wanted to do.
Yeah.
So after that, I was like, oh shit, wait, this is like this whole aspect of my life that was super important to me and that I stopped doing because I just wasn't supposed to, which is dumb. And then I met a lot of other artists. I was like, oh wait, this was a giant lie. It turns out art is a real job.
Yeah.
And why do you think I'm a monster for a living?
Yeah.
Exactly. He's a monster, and I make books out of my friend's professional D&D campaign. You know, so
I survived, albeit occasionally by the skin of my teeth, but I
I
survived
bought
for
that
20
book.
years making funny voices. I mean, they weren't all good years, but I did it.
I conned them into paying me to learn how to draw dragons.
Pardon?
That's true.
Yeah, it's actually true.
How to paint your dragon.
How to Paint Your Dragon. I mean, like, I remember seeing the stuff you were doing in college and being deeply, deeply impressed, and having like, oh, this seems like a good investment. I am going to take advantage of this one day.
It's really funny. I went to art school for 5 years and dropped out, and then because I was like, well, I should probably learn about life instead. And then I did that.
Who told you that? Who told you this?
But I had like proper training in San
Right.
Francisco's beautiful school. But I learned more with David Mack as my mentor over like a year and a half, 2 years. Yeah. He's one of my best friends, and it was just so beautiful because he would come to the classes and we would hang out, and it was just about being around other artists, watching how they draw, and like watching
spectacular.
at what they look. And that's when I learned. Those 5 years that I spent in art school were great, but being around artists and kind of absorbing the way that they art and their work ethic was incredible.
Oh, another thing, I will say valuable thing that I learned in college, and maybe not everyone would agree with me on this, and I'm
remember that
fine
class.
with everyone who doesn't agree with me on this, but one thing, one of my favorite teachers, who's a mentor also of mine, said to me, and she was applying this more to graphic design, but I think it applies to art in general, is learn all of the rules first so that you know exactly what you're doing when you're breaking them.
That is what I love about a good Picasso, is that that's not a man who had to paint that way. It's a man who was very specifically choosing to paint that way.
And Jack Kirby.
Oh, Jack motherfucking Kirby.
People don't understand the evolution of that art.
Jack Kirby, Mary Blair. I brought a big art book of Mary Blair in today to remind myself that you could. Mary Blair, for those of you, well, I assume half of you hopefully watch Wednesday Club. If not, shame on. We've done Kirby stuff, and we'll keep talking about Kirby.
He is my king.
He is the king, and he is why Guardians of the Galaxy looks so good, and why.
And why Ragnarok looks so
and
good.
why Ragnarok looks so good.
What? See, I shouldn't be
See,
here.
this is. Oh my
I should
god.
not be here.
Oh my god.
I haven't done this
leaving.
in a really long time.
So
Everything I've told you is a lie. I'm leaving. They've beaten me.
I've already seen stuff in there that's amazing.
Oh my gosh. She's beautiful, and on
Holy
camera
shit.
she's
At some point soon, we'll give you guys a little break, and then we're gonna make you guys pose and do something crazy.
all right, yeah.
But like,
craziness.
Craziness.
On our Geek and Sundry?
yeah, we're gonna pose and we'll do some portraiture.
So really
Oh
quick,
my-
I'm curious. Who is everyone's favorite artist?
Oh, Christ.
Oh man.
Pick one.
Stephen Gamble, Scare Stories to Read in the Dark.
Yes.
That says so much about you. I love you so much.
If you are
so
familiar with Stephen Gamble, look him up. He is a brilliant illustrator and I mean, one of the first artists I was exposed to because he illustrated children's books. And they are horrifying and nightmare-inducing and wonderful, and I cannot recommend them enough.
Great art.
Geoff?
I mean, I'm going to cop out and say I don't really have a favorite. I have a favorite for different things. If you force me to pick one, I'm going to pick Kirby.
That's fair.
But the reason I pick him is that all comic books are Kirby comics. Almost
Nice.
everybody
Yeah.
who draws now, whether they claim it, whether they admit it, whether they know it, they're drawing in Kirby style in some way or another. And like
Invented
Picasso,
language.
yes, and like Picasso, if you take the time and look at the evolution of his drawing style, he was choosing to draw that way, the iconic Jack Kirby style that you get at the end. He's basically trying to distill these images down to their most primal, most aggressive, most dramatic. Every moment he's squeezing out every little moment. If he showed up right now and you'd never ever seen his art before, and there's no classic Kirby art, he would jump right in and slay. So he's it's not just because I'm a Kirbophile, but
Oh, I'm with you.
it's the reason I'm a Kirbophile, right? I love Jill Thompson. She does not work enough. I know she works when she wants to work. But
Yes.
she needs to want to work more. You need to want to do a lot more stuff. Colleen Duran, I like.
Oh yeah.
There's a bunch of ladies right now. What's her Amy Reader?
Yes.
Is that her name?
Yes.
Rocket Girl? Holy
Rocket
crap.
Girl's amazing.
That book is awesome.
Rocket Girl.
Holy crap! That book.
I've been trying to get Drew to do a Rocket Girl costume for a while now. I've been sending images, going, come on, it's so your bag.
Yeah, so there's I mean, I have a new fave every, because they're always changing the game. I loved Tessa's stuff before I knew the hell she was, right? What's that book you were on?
I remember.
You don't mention it for various reasons, but they were queenly, and I was like, who's this chick? Like,
Queenly.
yeah,
That is an interesting choice
Yeah.
of words.
Okay.
I like that.
and
Tar's a big one for me. Babs Tar.
yeah.
Finally, it's a Western take on Eastern pop culture that feels super fresh.
There's a lady who's drawing. She was drawing was it the Wonderful Wasp, the Astonishing?
Oh, yeah.
The Unstoppable Wasp.
Unstoppable Wasp.
Can
Great
I-
book.
can
Elsa.
never-
Great book.
Holy crap.
Elsa.
My best compliment for an artist is, for comics artist, is they haven't been tested yet. I don't believe she's been tested yet. I don't believe anyone's given her a book to draw that is not well inside her skill set. Also, Kari Randolph and Emilio Lopez, who did Mosaic for me, with me, I should say.
Man.
Those guys are killers, and also they have not been tested yet.
I've already ranted at you about how much I love Mosaic, right? Like I know you were, but like at some point we're gonna have to have a conversation
We
about
can
that.
talk about the dead book that I put my guts into.
It was.
Let's please resurrect the corpse of my book.
It was.
Feel you.
Right?
Yeah.
Feel it when that happens.
Oh my
I feel
god.
you.
Oh my.
Yeah.
You don't get it. Y'all
It was.
get
It was both a new wonderful take on Spider-Man and such a great conversation about empathy that I can't
Can you
even.
show us?
Oh, my show.
Yes,
Oh
please.
yeah, show. Do we have a So. Oh my God.
Gaze contest works.
I quit.
Artist.
I'm quitting. There's a picture of me quitting.
Oh my God.
So cool.
Yeah, that's wicked.
Oh my God.
We never saw him again after that drinking draw.
Yeah. All
right.
Who's an artist? Who's an artist?
Right. So let's see. People I saw when I was in art history in elementary school and who just stuck with me forever. I will put in for Frida Kahlo.
Okay.
Just every time I see that
That's
just
fair.
makes me super happy. People who are on my Instagram feed who make me super happy. Jen Bartel.
Oh
I
my
was
god.
thinking when we were
Girls
listening-
Kissing and Rainbows. What more do I need for my life? And just like everything about just the people she draws are so beautiful.
But her line.
Her
Her
line
line work is
the
bananas.
line. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
As someone who's just like, we were
Line
talking right
work,
before the
man,
episode
line
about how
work.
my line work I would currently classify as butts. It is so astonishing to just try to learn from all of that amazing stuff and artists who I just have has made my jaw drop for the past 10 years is someone I went to art school with, Bex Freund, and who is working on an art comic that hopefully we are going to see in the 2018, early 2019 times. And
Hint.
more on that.
Putting it
Stay
down.
tuned.
Putting it down.
No, it's good.
It's good.
Yeah, no,
Blow
no.
your
Like
mind.
it's like if I do anything more to it, I'm gonna be like there's bits of this and I'm very happy with. I'm just gonna like leave them now before I do something terrible to them.
That's good. That's a good decision.
Yeah.
Knowing when to
Abandon it.
stop is a good
Abandon it.
idea.
I'm a big. I mean, like other than Kirby, who you mentioned, and other than friends of mine who are specifically artists who no one would know because they're artists who are friends of mine, and their stuff doesn't really leave very often. Like I have a friend named Lee McCloskey who does this really great transcendental art that I'm a big fan of. Mary Blair is a big deal for me. Mary Blair is a very, very, very big deal. If you guys, she basically invented the best of the Disney princess motif.
Oh yeah.
She was the one who designed "It's a Small World," which I know gets a lot of haters for its obvious, for its deep and abiding over sincerity.
You think that's sincere? Is that the first thing you think of?
It's not necessarily sincerity, but it was an interesting piece. I get what they were going for, and I get why it doesn't work. But I love it, and I love the notion behind it, and I love that the entire thing is very specifically designed to look like a child put it together.
Yeah.
And not all of her art does that. That's not her only track. But she has a very strong track of being able to design like a genius child. And she fakes genius child better than any human being I've ever seen. And she knows how to take shapes of cray paper and turn them into palaces.
I think I'm done with mine.
I have a Twitter thing I follow which just
Skills.
generates a Mary Blair castle
you got
randomly every hour. And it's like my little Twitter clock. Is a little Mary Blair castle just appears in my Twitter feed.
It's pretty great.
It's generated by math.
That was the most Taliesin answer
Thank you.
I know.
ever heard.
Thank you.
Love it.
Taliesin like he's never Taliesin before.
But like I've had friends but the nice thing is a lot of my friends are artists, so I get to love what Satine does. I get to love what Laura Peters does. I love people all these who you will eventually meet. And
I haven't drawn you yet.
no, you haven't drawn me.
I have, yeah.
Yeah. I have, and I still haven't shown you the coat that you
refuse to
somehow magically manifested. And
I'm on record as refusing to draw Taliesin.
well, you did write my brother at one
I
point.
murdered your brother
You
in one
murdered
of
my
my
brother.
stories.
You murdered my brother.
Nice.
It was so fun.
So sweet.
It was a beautiful, sad death too. People
It
really
was.
felt bad when he went out.
Was
He
it
went out with his lady, trying to save the world.
Ensign? Was it Ensign?
He was a.
Can I plug the book? Can we plug the book?
What's the thing called?
I read some.
Truth Metric.
That
It's in my
sounds right.
French space thing. It's Truth Metric, and he's a computer specialist in the future. But in the future, the computers are basically hyper intelligent. They have their own language, and he can speak it. He's one of the few people who can actually speak.
Which is
directly
my
to
brother.
them.
For those
If you
who
ever
haven't
met his
him.
brother, holy crap, that brain is so freaking huge.
It's just-
it
it's just
has
so
its
large.
own moon. That's how big his brain is. But I just like to murder my friends in my stories. It's the best way to
feel
show
you.
them. But they go out heroically. I don't just put them in and kill them.
That's
They
important.
go out like a G in my story.
I was going to say, D&D, I put my friends into my D&D games all the time and murder them immediately.
Don't kill them immediately. You gotta build up some
I was
sympathy.
literally like, the entire Derolo backstory was, which of Talison's friends can we murder before the game even starts?
Oh
didn't murder me,
no!
did you?
You gotta
I'm
get.
I thought I lived.
You lived in the vampire game, but
I didn't.
Cassandra, Whitney, Vesper, they all
You have to
went
build up
and
sympathy in the audience and
Critical Role.
then murder them. You don't just kill them. You gotta make people like them so
I-
the deaths matter.
Unless you're
you
Taliesin.
can't worry about what the audience thinks
You're
of
like
you.
the scythe of
That
God.
also is true.
Running in, killing people.
Yeah, you can't worry about what the audience thinks.
But you should worry about what I think of you.
or
You
your
should really worry.
your Thursday night games
Your
that
Thursday night
fans
game.
might be attached to.
I'm gonna have a s'more
Just a
cookie.
little
I'm
bit.
so
I know.
pleased.
Yeah.
I can't
At some point, we should let you guys
All
sit down and
around
get a
is
drink. By the way, are we like everyone called?
They're
that
not
number
allowed to
already?
move yet.
Not yet,
You
but
like
like
this one?
at some
Yes.
Is this valuable?
Soon.
Is this-
That is valuable.
That is valuable.
Wow.
That's very
You got the eyes. You got the eyes. Nice.
You're doing so much good. I love it.
They're being nice to me. These women are killing me.
Look at that nose, though.
All these women are brutalizing me. Oh, tell me, is it?
Whoa, camera.
All these women are brutalizing me on television.
Show the camera.
Oh, show the people.
That is literally our brand here.
Show the people.
No, is get women to brutalize you on the internet.
I don't want to be brutalized.
Somebody asked what everybody's drinking, and I feel like you picked out some really good drinks.
We're having some Victorian lemonade.
Let me tell you another one. This one is
Satine.
Satine.
Oh yeah.
We showed that before. I did a couple.
You did, and there's a couple you need to show. You need to show that
I
one.
didn't know I was supposed to show my work.
You don't have to, but we like that you do.
This is the one that made Allison say, "Oh my gosh, comics."
That was like, you guys look like you're about to murder the Doom Patrol.
We've come to kill the Doom
And
Patrol.
I was just talking shit about him, and I popped out behind him and like, what?
What?
That's right. What you say to my man?
It's not perfect, but I drew it.
What?
Yes, yes.
Shut up! Oh my God!
Nah, see what I
God.
mean? Watch them beat me to death.
Oh, it's so good.
And then
Oh, wait, no, I need
this is my most recent thing, and I was trying to get something cartoonish, and I started to get everything right, and then I hit a line I didn't like on Brittany, but then I got this great, like, it's almost here it is. It almost looks like a Gotcha Man villain. I got like a really good
I love
Gotcha
it.
Man dragon helmet out of
I
you.
love it.
So, like, the drawing you did of him reminds me of Vampire Hunter D. Just if you just the shape in it is.
Amino.
I see it.
Amino. Oh God. So the guy who's like the artist on Vampire Hunter D, his name is Yoshitaka Amino.
That was my favorite.
And before he did, I mean, like he was just becoming known in the West, and he did an art gallery. He was moving to New York, and God, this was so long ago. This was like, oh God, 97, 96. This was so fucking long ago. And he did an art gallery called Think Like Amino, and it was to promote his Arabian 1001 Nights animated movie that no one ever saw because they never released it because it was only, oh my God.
But you saw it.
Oh my God,
I
yes.
hate you so much.
And they had, and it breaks my heart. I was young and struggling at the time. I was like, I can't spend several $1,000s on a painting that I really wanted to own, called May in Paris, and I was dying about it. But I bought the catalog from the show. It was an $80 book. It was this big catalog of his art, and he was there because no one in LA knew who the fuck he was. And he was like, "Oh, you're a fan of my work." I'm like, "I'm a big fan of your work, Gotcha Man, and Vampire Hunter D, and like all these things that you created." And he's like, "Cool," and let me sign your book. And he grabs my $80 art book and he gets a little pen. And he doesn't break eye contact with me. He goes, "Oh, that's cool. Do you have like a favorite character?" I'm like, "Oh well, Vampire Hunter D is your best." He's like, "That's really cool. Anyway, thank you so much." And like he didn't look at it, and he spent about 8 seconds. Like he never looked down, and he spent 8 seconds and handed me my book back, and there was a sketch of Vampire Hunter D.
This is a picture of me hating you. Right
And I was just staring in horror.
That happened. That happened to me. One of my favorite artists. His name's Menton, and I got his art book, and I follow him on like all social media. And I like went by it because I told him I was gonna come by, and I like bought the book, and he did this beautiful like sketch of me and like my green hair, and I was like. It's like one of my prized possessions. Like it's, I'll send you all.
I was gonna say people should be aware you're wearing a wig right now.
Yeah, my hair's bright green.
Really?
Yeah.
Menton is such a great artist.
What color's your hair?
No, we have enough Brittany's that we actually have to like designate. There's Goth Brittany, and
I'm the green Britney.
there's Darling Wife Brittany, and then there's Goth Brittany. We have to like actually designate her.
We designate by hair color.
Yeah, there's Matt Keys Brittany, who's his
Yeah,
lovely wife Brittany.
Love Britney.
Yeah,
Lovely Britney.
lovely Brittany, and then we had to have Goth Brittany, or occasionally Dark Brittany, Anti Brittany, and Darkest Timeline Brittany. That came up a couple times as which Brittany? Darkest Timeline. I'm like, all right.
I always see you as a little kid. I cannot not draw you as a little
I love
kid.
it
You're like
so
a little
much.
kid in a man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my pencils.
Mm-hmm.
I'm, as far as
Let me know if you want cookies, by the way.
Oh.
painters go, I'm really big into Zdzisław Bekinski.
I don't know. God, I gotta write more down.
Polish painter, and he's amazing.
What's the
Zdzisław? Z-I-D Slaw?
I'll look that up.
Bekinski.
Yeah, if you Google Alex, you can see him as full monster if you want to.
But of course Bernie Wrightson.
Bernie Wrightson, yeah, baby.
In a slightly more pop, I follow Phil Noto on Twitter.
He's great.
It's also funny because I
So
know
pop.
Bernie's son. He's a
Yeah.
sculptor and an effects artist.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
And so it's just like I've worked with him a couple of times, and I didn't know for the longest time. And then I figured it out. I was like, "What?" Like, it was.
That's why nobody knows for the longest time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's the sweetest
Nicest
dude,
guy.
sweetest. did you get to go to the? Am I allowed to say names? The Mignola art.
I did.
Did you see the original Bernie's?
Wow.
Yeah, on the
missed
walls,
it.
like. I went through with a fine-tooth comb to find all of his like little knickknacks and tchotchkes.
I love it.
But there was Bernie's on the wall, and I just died. I just stood in front of like Frankenstein stuff and just died. It was so cool.
So good.
I really love, obviously, our friends are amazing.
Yeah.
And they all inspire me and are amazing. But there's somebody called Creature 13 in the Eastern Europe somewhere, and their art is amazing. It's just like it's very androgynous.
It's just a.
But also it's fascinating, and it's not anime and it's not comic. It's somewhere in between. It's like this really beautiful, like the anatomy is really good, and just the way they pull the forms around the faces is really cool. One of my favorite artists, I thought, was just by looking at the art, I thought was an old Japanese man who's crafted like the ink and brush pen and watercolor. Turns out it's our friend Jaw Cooper.
Oh God.
Not an old Japanese man, a very like young, lithe woman.
I've learned so much from her.
Yeah, she draws like people, and I love like art school was cool because it taught you to draw form and how like the grotesque postures are actually really beautiful to draw. And so she does these grotesque postures and like pieces of people, but she draws animals, right? Like really cool animals like monkeys and elephants and all these crazy things, when she incorporates people and animals, and she spends a lot of time in nature. And you can feel how connected she is with everything that she draws. And that's what is a good artist to me, is if you could feel it or taste it.
That reminds me, Jennifer Meyer, J.L. Meyer. She's an illustrator I discovered on Twitter. And this is one of the things about the power of art. We got our particular president. I don't want to get too political, but that depressed the shit out of me for about a year, to the point where I was not being myself. My whole mind was based on, don't go out and murder everyone you see, because you're freaking the fuck out every day.
I appreciate that.
Sound like a
And you all appreciate that. But one day, I go on Twitter, which is really not helpful when you're not feeling well. I don't know why I said
Another
that.
important
the
safety
last
tip.
place you should ever go. But for some reason, somebody reposted one of Jennifer's. She draws bunnies. I'm not a particular fan of bunnies. I don't give two shits about bunnies. But these bunnies just kept popping up in my feed. And they're clearly quickly drawn. There weren't like some detailed, like, look at the beauty of the power of the bunny. It wasn't like that. It was just these things she was clearly like quickly whipping out, maybe before as a warm up or something like that. But they were delightful. They were just pure distilled delight. Like there was no edge on it. There was nothing under it. It was just, here's something really cute for no goddamn reason. Just take a look at it.
I love cute for no goddamn reason.
It uplifted me. It made me feel better. It made me feel better like when people pray. Like, I was like, this can't be happening. I don't give two shits about bunnies. What the fuck?
Now you do.
But it kept going every day. Every day she would put a new thing up, and there were bunnies in costumes. There's this beautiful sequence she does of Wonder Woman bunnies, because she was obsessed with Wonder Woman for 5 minutes. And I was like, how is this happening? These bunnies are making me feel better in life. Like in life, I have to find out who she is.
Do you know Paul Kunadaris?
I don't.
Paul takes my pictures of his cat. He goodness. cosplays his cat.
What?
And it's like the coolest thing. And this cat
goes
is
deep.
into it. And we're
the
talking
cat digs it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, she's-
Like personality and just
It's very expressive.
But all-
expressive in the costumes.
The thing that's brilliant about it is he's a professional, brilliant photographer. So the quality of these photos is bananas.
But isn't he like a history professor?
He's not a professor anymore. Now he was his PhD in art history. He was an art history professor, I believe. If you look up Paul Kunadaris, you will see he does his photographs of carnal houses and ossuaries and just.
Really?
So, yeah, I mean, pretty
Really
much if you look up like carnal house ossuary online, 90% of the photos are probably going to be his.
So his palate cleansing is the cat?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
And like the thing about Paul also is he's able to get into, because he's been doing this so long and has such extensive knowledge and is so incredibly respectful, he is able to get into places that a lot of people normally would not be able to. And he has it's like 3 different books now. I would definitely recommend.
Yeah, he's
looking him up.
super interesting. I just love listening to him.
Also,
What's the bunny again?
Jennifer Meyer.
I know you guys need a break. You guys need to have some.
You guys are
Yeah, you're
We're
awesome.
gonna take a minute, and then we may, when you're ready, shove you absolutely.
J.L. Meyer. J.L. Meyer.
J.L. Meyer.
She's I guess a book illustrationist. Like her primary
like he
illustration
washes-
is for books.
he washes
Kids' books and
nice.
stuff like that. But I looked her up. She's really nice. And my artwork improved because after all these years of drawing and plateauing, I was like, she's painting. I don't paint. Let me try that, right? With these fabulous tablets, you can. You don't have to know anything about water mixing with anything. Right? And
I won.
Tess and I cried.
I did some really nice art that I was like, this is the first time in a while I liked what I put out. And I asked her about it, and she said, it's possible that you're not a line artist. And I was like, huh? After all these years of only drawing comics, what are you telling me? She said, and this is someone I don't know, by the way. I mean, we've never met. I don't even know what she looks like. I think she lives in Georgia, you know. She said, some people, the way they see, you see shapes and colors and textures and things like that, and someone has to tell you that that's how you're seeing, so that will help you. Ever since then, all of my artwork has been like 90% better, 100% better. Like, I'm painting, right? Even if it ends up looking like a line art drawing, it starts as a painting. It's like, if I'd had this teacher, this one teacher, 25 years ago, you know, what would I be capable? I'd be like you. You know?
10,000
Let's
hours,
not get ahead of
man.
ourselves. Yeah, no.
But
It's only
let's
5
not get
years.
crazy. But yeah, I think that like so she both helped me as in a spiritual way, I guess you would call it, emotional way. But she turned out to be a really nice person.
Well,
she didn't have to be.
The thing about mentors and other artists is that it's all about looking at things from different perspectives.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's why a lot of people are interested in art and the way artists make things. Because if you look at those how to ink books, right? You got that pencil underneath, and it's just like all the different inkers will tell a different story based on how they ink it, and it's really beautiful.
I agree.
And being able to see from other perspectives isn't what people don't allow themselves to do that. And I
Yeah.
feel like we all here give each other permission to keep doing that and pushing each other more and more.
I think as long as the other person is clearly judging without judgment, is that a thing? Like,
Judging without
because there's looking at the thing sort of like here's a car, here's how a car's supposed to work. They give you a clean critique with no ego involved.
yeah, loving critique.
Yeah, they're not punching you. They're just saying, here's what I think. And I think a lot of art teachers, certainly a lot of drama teachers, they're teaching by punching.
I was specifically
Jesus Christ.
sweet. Fuck, lady.
Oh man,
Really?
just stop.
Wow.
Can I live, Tess? Can I?
Okay, no, wait, no. Who's this? This has got a little bit of Romita Jr. to it.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It's the face. It's the face. It looks like his Avengers Run villain.
I can see that.
This is a Captain Marvel villain or Marvel Boy villain. Marvel Boy villain.
This is Tess's. I did not do this wash is so good.
You man. Okay.
Didn't you just pick up
Thank you
watercolors
for
like
you,
4
Tess.
weeks ago or something?
Thank you.
1 week.
Right?
You've been,
Right?
she's been watercoloring for a week.
Okay, no, technically, I did a Critical Role painting.
Brittany with the strawberry. Gotcha.
It's
What?
I
Someone
made
said
Critical
that
Role
we need to draw
painting
you eating a
that I did inch
Okay,
away
save
at
a
for a
really
couple
big
months.
strawberry.
We'll save some big
Okay,
strawberry.
so a big 2 months. Okay.
Here, hold this to me real quick.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's
Take over it, Emma.
It's the best kind of offer.
Who's next?
A second.
Lauren.
We're gonna do some. I'm gonna work on some nice.
I inked over the thing.
Oh, there we go.
I think over.
Nice.
Hi. Some nice portraiture.
All right.
I'll be drawing
Since
that.
we were.
I'll be the next
Next-
person.
I will stencil this.
I have enough time to finish this and do one Sam.
You're good. You can keep drawing.
Oh, no. I'm just getting my girl.
I just want to wing you.
Oh, no. I've got the high dodge.
Is anybody drawing with us?
Yeah, that's
what I
a
wanna
good
know.
question.
Can they post images on Twitch?
Twitter.
Not on Twitter. They can post on Twitter.
Give them a hashtag.
We should have a hashtag. Hashtag gather your party. If you just add the gather your party hashtag, we'll be able to find your pictures.
Brittany.
And
I have strawberry fingers.
what is?
Or I guess put it in the pile.
Hey, Sam's modeling.
Yeah.
Bam.
Are we good for the camera too, or do we have to move?
I do have wheels under my butt. I can move.
Butt wheels.
Wheels.
All right, Sammy.
Waiting for Selena to have the
I'm
final.
going to do something fun for you.
Are you good? Are you good with? Oh yeah, look at that. It's beautiful. Now that I can see the picture, like I'm looking at things that are important. Picture.
That's great.
Right.
It's really funny because usually art classes or art drawing things, we all get really excited and we talk, and then all of a sudden, it's so quiet because we're all paying attention.
Everybody gets
Yeah, if anyone ever wants to find a way to shut me up, that's kind of how.
Draw, monkey, draw.
I was about to say I love you. That's good to know.
Oh, you guys have known each other for a long time.
Which who?
You guys have known each other for a really long
Thompson and
time.
I have known
said
each
high
other
school,
since I was like
didn't
15.
Yeah, since you were in high school.
But remember on the Christmas episode,
I was kicked out of your high school.
Okay,
for
well,
not being-
let me
because I don't go to that high
let me reiterate. I'm a good boy, and B, no, it's because you were friends with all the Rocky Horror kids, and we were shepherding the next generation. Like you were kind of like generation 3 of the Rocky Horror kids,
Good Christ.
and the Crossroads kids that you were hanging out with. Crossroads is a performing arts school, yeah, in Santa Monica.
Right.
I went to Pally.
And you went to Pally, but you were friends with a bunch of those kids. And
Well, first I went to Renaissance, that insane school that got shut down after 2
Yes.
years.
Why was it insane? I need to hear all about that.
Was it
No, it was.
paraphrase if you need to.
It's a long story.
Yeah.
It's a
Out in-
very long story.
Tell me everything, but don't be specific.
Yeah, no.
It really is a long, confusing story, and I don't entirely understand all of it. to be honest.
But because I was working in voiceover and I was actually casting at the time, I was still deeply involved with the performing arts section of Crossroads, and I was
Okay.
going, and my theater and music teachers there were keeping me abreast of like, because I use kids in voiceover quite a bit, and I was paying attention to that talent, and the goth kids coming out of there, of course, knew us because all goth kids end up at the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
That's true.
Do you know I've never gone?
Really?
Oh my God!
How are you in our friend group and have never gone?
How did you sneak in?
It was,
You're not from LA.
I'm not from LA.
No, but
I did that.
It's okay. I'm not from LA, and I'm from New England originally, and then I went to Georgia, which there is a big Rocky Horror thing down
There
there.
is.
But oddly enough, I was the goth kid that like hung
Yeah.
out, and I played sports. So like I
my
didn't
God.
get into like the artsy stuff.
I would
mean,
pay
I
money
did
to see
art,
goth sports.
but I
I would
mean,
pay money
I
for
was
that.
like a
Called
cheerleader,
martial
so I
arts.
never like
Indoor.
Yeah, right.
and I didn't
Or
have
Blood Bowl.
anybody in my family that was like that, so I never had like anybody to do those things. So like as an adult, I've thought about it, but then I'm like, oh,
We'll
you know,
make a
we'll
track
have
at
to
some
go.
point.
Yeah,
The kids who are currently running the show are pretty solid. I like the current crop of
it's
Rocky
like
kids.
Wow, we should
it's
do
just it never dies. It just
It
keeps
never-
going and going.
And it evolves. Bless it, it is not what it was when I was there, and that is so pleasing.
I would love to go.
I know,
I've not
shush.
been in
No, it's
since
not where
96.
I used to go back in Northern California. It's not even remotely the
No,
same.
Northern California as a whole.
Sounds like a field trip.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
from
love this.
Northern California, and that's where I had my first Rocky Horror experience.
Where are you from?
San Jose.
San Jose.
Hey,
Really?
I'm from,
Yeah.
well, technically,
That's
San
why you're
Francisco.
so
I
cool.
was born there.
You were born in San
San
Francisco?
Francisco, and then I lived in Sonoma for a long time.
Oh my.
2006.
This is like whole chunks of California is a weird fiefdom.
Yeah,
San Jose is home to the Winchester Mystery House.
it is.
I've never gone. I want to go so badly. What's weird is you run all the same circles.
Let's
all the same
let's see if it will throw off people's writing or not. But if not, or drawing, go ahead. See what happens. Oh!
Look at that lighting.
You look like you've just been caught in a prison break.
See, but that's ridiculous. They'd never catch me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's her. That's
Sam's
her,
too
yeah.
fast for that.
Them.
I mean, like I was aware of how sharp your features were before, but now it's becoming like it's really intense.
It's harder to draw people not in costume.
Now
It
I'm
is.
like, I need a
Now
new
you-
piece
it's
of
just-
paper. The lighting is so good. Oh my goodness.
I don't know if I agree with that.
It's harder to draw because
Wow.
I agree with
I
that.
could see you more clearly. I can see all your. Well, the light really helps.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I can
it's
see
just,
Nothing to
There's
hold on
so
to.
Yeah.
many. There's
nothing
so
to grip.
many
Yeah.
like really sharp angle. There's just it's very.
Very aggressive cheekbones.
They're very aggressive cheekbones, but also there's.
Or delightful.
It's-
Another adjective might be
Hey,
delightful.
you need improvised weapons sometimes. I just
Wow.
carry them on my face.
It's
that sounds painful.
there's it's a lot of
Really how you
symmetry and
work
it's
that
and
into a
it's
fight.
and it's intimidating to
Yeah.
draw.
Oh.
It's because you want to express it as best as you can. You
I
don't want to
do.
do it
Anything
Disservice.
I don't know
Eye
words now.
sees, your hand can draw. Anything, remember that, anything your eye sees, your hand can draw. It is absolutely possible. You walk your pencil around the edges and don't be afraid. Fear is the great mind killer, and when you're making art, you have to remember this is joyous, this is fun, and there are no expectations, there are no mistakes in art. Those are the two things that I was told as a child that got me through.
Yeah.
That is your test talk for the day.
I like it.
Test talks. Test talks.
Boy,
Test talk
I was
test.
told you have
I
to
want
make your
test
SAG
talk.
minimum so everyone gets their health insurance. Come on, kid, dance. Sorry.
But I think that's actually really cool because I think one of the things that art school taught me was how to look. And as an artist, and going to all these drawing groups, you learn how people look. And one of the ways, as you can see here, we have a wild Tess in the room with her paper, and she's got the paper sitting in a way where her eye is moving at the smallest distance, right? So you can watch. You're watching
So
her draw
helpful.
right now. You see, like the closer you have the paper to the person,
Oh, all right.
the
Oh, I'm
thing.
into that. Bless you.
or the item or whatever you're drawing.
My biggest thing was when I used to draw my friends, back when I had friends, the problem was the way that I see, I would somehow zero in on a feature that they didn't like. And I would draw these things would come out and they'd be like, "This is how you see me?" I'm like, no, I love you. You're fantastic.
Terrible superpower.
To be fair, that's also how you spoke to us too. So
Shut
that's.
up. Why'd
This
you
is
wear
how I
that
see
hat?
you.
Why are you wearing that bowler? Why would you wear that bowler?
I'm trying to have a personality.
Did you wear a bowler too?
Maybe there was a time.
Alright, I did as well.
No. It's just
Cute when you do it. You're Bob Fosse when
I
you
used
do it.
to
I
have a
just
much
look like I'm
rounder
trying
face
to.
and it worked. It doesn't work anymore.
Do you even like a slightly ill-shaped, like ill-fitting, slightly too small bowler where
That
you look
might
like
work.
Yeah.
One that fits looks ridiculous.
no, but like, oh yeah,
Tiny wood.
not every face is good for a bowler.
no, that's true. Not every hat is for every
It's circles
face.
like this head.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of hats that go on his head.
You could do
Same.
what is the classic detective
Oh, I had
head?
one. What
The fedora?
Not the fedora, not the fedora. but
No, the Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, the Frank
Yeah,
Sinatra
that's a
hat.
version
That
of
is
it.
technically, yeah, it is.
It's really is a fedora, but it's like
It's
an
got its own
adult-
Give us a
thing.
minute, chat
Better
will tell us.
fedora.
Yeah,
It's
got
not
a.
a Milady
Chad.
fedora.
No,
Those
it's,
are Tribleys.
It's the one. It's
Those
the one
are
I was
the
wearing last week. I was
Wow, these
proud of
people are
it.
deep. They roll
That's
deep,
why
man.
We
people
roll so deep.
think it's the wrong thing is because people think Tribleys are fedoras. They're not.
Your face.
There's also derbies are not like. There's a whole
Yeah,
conversation
bowlers and
about
derbies.
bowler versus derby, depending on whether or not you're on the West Coast or. Yeah.
Big round face, very
This
few
is how they have
hats. That's all I need
street
to know.
fights. That's where street fights
Street
came
fights?
from. It's my
thought that
hat
was just a
arguments.
It's just
We've
how
evolved since then.
I was about to say.
We're
We're Tad
we could get
Bane,
into the
like
Zeus
bounty
suit,
hunter
right,
hat
for a real thing.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Just go in for
That's a
it.
real.
You're stupid. My wife
Zutsu
won't let me out
riots
of
were
the
a
house
very
with
big
that
deal.
stuff. I got my my
I didn't get
Ravenclaw
into
robes,
that.
and she's like, "Yeah, that's
Yeah.
never."
I have a face for a
Yeah, Ravenclaw
Of
height.
course, you're
Ravenclaw. Of
Ravenclaw.
course, I'm Ravenclaw.
Now I understand.
Slytherin.
Yeah.
What?
I'm making a
It's okay, Jeff. I got you.
Victorian
I got
Slytherin
you.
walking dress right now, and I'm
Fuck you,
living
no.
for it.
Oh
I'm
my
so
God.
excited.
You're gonna get a suit. Okay.
No, I'm not making him.
No,
anything.
you can get a suit and get like a nice green
I
cravat with
have
it, though.
plenty of
See,
suits.
this is why Ravenclaw. This is why Slytherin loses because they're always talking shit. But Ravenclaw gets the job done. That's all I'm saying.
I want
my
to
God.
point out.
That's
I
right.
would like you to point out a time when I have lost.
Oh.
Well, you're
God,
losing
you
right
have been
now.
winning a
5
long
minutes,
time.
I
It's
might
getting
be able to.
irritating.
Yeah. Give me a few minutes and let me confer with my Confederates.
Oh.
That's another thing.
My
Teamwork.
Confederates.
Yep.
Ravenclaw
You missed.
teamwork.
We had a Harry Potter gather.
I didn't miss it. I saw you freaks running around. You know you do it in front of cameras, right?
I just assume that I know everybody who's because like I know all these people.
No, I just don't talk.
Yes, I see you autistic cosplay. Yes.
I'm gonna start popping
Yes,
in
Miss
more.
Sunflower. Please, because I quietly stalk your channel. I quietly stalk like 7 channels, and just like.
You got me. I was like, oh my god.
Maybe
Somebody wants to give you the coffee on the table. Is that your coffee?
Oh, that's done.
Is that
I
done?
went through
It's
that. It was formerly a beverage, but
The cup,
now it is not.
formerly known as a cup
Formerly
of
known as
beverage.
a beverage.
Formerly known as generic cola beverage.
Normally, also there would be a DJ for something like this, but I figured we would just have conversation
A
instead.
DJ?
That's what we used to do at the warehouse drinking draws.
That's fancy.
It was
That's fancy.
I feel like music really,
Yeah.
low tempo, like.
Yeah, man.
I don't know what you're talking about. I drive
like what
Critical
you were
Role.
playing.
Yep.
When we were playing.
Yeah.
Wait, when you were playing in the
Yeah.
background, I love that.
I like that. I like trip hop when I draw. I like a lot of like low
I feel like
melodic,
really,
deep
like,
melodic.
influences
Think
what
it-
you're-
it-
how you're
which house?
drawing.
Just
Or at
so
least
You guys are
for me.
I draw audiobooks or Critical Role.
Yeah.
Oh,
I do a
World-
lot of
the world-
watching RPGs and TV and stuff while I draw.
Our playlists. They
I
want
think
to know
I
our
was like,
playlists.
going through the
I'm
first
sure Tal
season
will.
of Critical Role when I was making my first fairy.
Really?
I went through
Aww.
like catching up. I was like power watching it
Yeah, I
as
told
I was
her
like
about it.
sewing through stuff.
That makes me so happy. That makes me so happy.
You were part of that fairy that you got to experience.
You guys, we were so happy to run into you guys because that was our first Ren Fair together because they knew that I had a problem at Ren Fair and then we were like,
What was your Ren Fair problem?
Going
You're not
all the
glossing over that.
I used to work the Ren Fair, so I know everybody. So
Okay.
like I show up and it's like I'm gonna disappear for 10 minutes and come out from the back of this booth really drunk,
God, there's
really
Okay, so
drunk
get
with.
to the part where there's a problem.
They were just they go and they have the turkey experience, which is great. Which is you have the meat and you do and like I'm like they're like, oh, we're out of money, we want to do axe throwing. I'm like, we can make this happen. Come on, kids.
We can make
Look
the
at
act.
Lucy-
yeah.
Lucy
The
Gray
drunk
stuff,
axe
yeah.
throwing.
This is just gonna happen.
I
Oh,
think
it
it's
happens
harder
way
than
more
you think.
This
No,
was the
it's
second
exactly as hard as I think. Why would you promote that? What's
I'm
wrong?
pretty good at it.
Because it's a workout.
Travis and my
Puritans.
You are not.
Maybe.
You are
I don't know.
not.
I have auditions, so there's nothing.
What?
Oh
confirmed,
my
but I'm
God.
thinking
Okay, so for those, the Puritans. So like when you work fair, there are a series of small fiefdoms. There's like little, there's guilds and then there's
Competitive.
groups, and they all perform different functions. They all have like it's like Army, Navy, Marines. There's like everyone has infighting and everyone like respects. There is no higher respect at Ren Fair than the Puritans. The Puritans are the baddest motherfuckers at Ren Fair.
These rules. I didn't understand.
This is true.
Any of this.
So the Puritans. This is why the Puritans are the baddest motherfuckers at Ren Fairs because they dress in costumes that are the most uncomfortable, the most heat absorbent.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all
Black.
black.
It's all black,
Okay.
layers of black wool,
Okay.
and their job is to be comically disapproving of everything and be able to like pull out scripture.
Yep.
At the drop of a hat to explain to everybody why what they're doing is wrong. and do it at such speed and with such comedy.
And to make you not feel bad. Like
No.
you can't walk away feeling
Oh,
bad.
you laugh at them.
You have
Yeah.
and they have to make and like it's a very specific form of comedia and you have to be able to be funny while also not being offensive on either direction.
Wow.
And that's Olympic
It's a
team.
tightrope.
All right,
So
respect.
I'm gonna go to auditions and I have a really good gag that I'm gonna do. I'll tell
I'm
you
excited.
That, but I don't want to give it
I know.
away.
I'm excited because Puritan. That's no fucking around there.
Yeah.
Like people join
Right,
Puritan.
no, it isn't. They're Puritans.
I ran into
Literally no fucking around.
I ran and they are also they party harder than anybody.
They do.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
not-
I ran into some at Burning Man once. They were in full costume in the middle of the desert,
Wow.
yelling at people everywhere. I'm like, oh, this is the best
What
thing.
is your life? What is your life?
You know this.
Allison
my
Jaffe.
This is
Most
where
interesting
No,
man
I
on the
love
internet.
that when you
I
started
mean-
first. This is how long I've known you.
It is
Since
known.
prior to the existence of Burning Man.
Yeah.
And I remember
Wow.
the first time you went.
Yeah.
You came back with those pictures, and I was like, "Who let these poor people loose? What in the hell? Don't do that again. You're gonna get hurt. You have to come back."
Oh god.
Jeffrey is seriously like I feel you. I feel like we would have an understanding. We would
I have been waiting to have the two of you in a room for
Oh
so
my
long.
God.
seriously.
Like you gotta remember, you're seeing him now with his blue hair, and he's in his mid.
You knew me
early
when I was
40s.
in high school.
This was a cherub. Okay.
Oh,
I saw photos.
Oh no.
Yes, you were.
Every
You
time
were
he
a
would come
freaking
back from his
adorable.
weekly debauches, I was like, who are these women? These grown women. You're like a baby. He's like, I'm grown, Jeff. I'm grown.
I'm a grown man.
Right? I'm a grown-ass man, Jeff. Clearly, because damn. Right? Like, what are you doing with your weekends? Who are these people?
I was assembling my army to,
Oh
to,
my
to come
God.
to
I'd be
Geek
a
and
fucking
Sundry.
dog.
I have to
Jesus
say, when you showed me your photo album, there were a lot of beautiful women in there.
Were there not?
There were some
There
pretty
really
men too.
were.
I'm just going to
And
point out
pretty
some.
men,
We were some
and
pretty
pretty
men.
men.
Quite
Yes.
attractive.
Yeah, I was impressed.
Thank you. We rolled hard.
Yes, you did.
We continue to roll hard.
And
I rolled hard enough, I questioned my gender preference a couple of times.
Thank you very much.
Like, damn.
That's all I want in this world.
My work here is done.
I want it to be confused. For me, it's more like, am I terrified or am I turned on? Like,
Or a little
that's
bit of
my-
both.
That's
Yes.
my gig.
The answer
like,
is yes.
That's kind of how I go for just my general look.
Yeah.
That's the impression.
You wear it you wear it well. I mean like you are from I mean like you especially came from that gaggle of terrifying goth now young adults that are still rocking. Like LA's young goth scene is like made of like the most wonderfully effective human
There's
beings on God's
healthy
planet.
goths now.
So many of them.
Oh my God, they're so sexy.
We were tire fires before, and now like with
Tire fire.
Fires at that.
yeah, it was a lot of alcohol problems. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
drug problems. It was
Oh,
get
right,
your
there
shit
was
together
that
problems.
What was it?
Now
Was it
they're all-
absinthe you guys were doing?
I'm still I've got that under control. Like,
Absinthe is not a problem.
it's a solution on occasion.
Wow.
For some people, I've learned the hard way that I don't.
No, you don't do that. You don't do that or video games.
Oh no, we don't give her absinthe.
No.
No.
No, I learned that the hard way.
These are the only people in the world that make me feel like a straight arrow.
How did you grow? Like, how did you grow up? I would love
You know what?
to.
It's very simple. Like
I just wanted to
used
be you,
I used to
man.
have. Oh, stop saying things.
It's
like
so fucking true.
I just don't like the taste of it.
No.
I drink the first time I drank. Oh, that's what it is. I'm one of those kids. I don't learn to like food.
Yeah.
I don't learn to like drinks. If I don't like it right away, that's the last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, why
And,
would you
like,
learn?
why would you
like that?
teach yourself?
Why
I
would
could
you
acquire
go
this taste where I
through-
could taste things that I like.
And I don't really believe they acquire it. I think they learn to stomach it and pretend they like it.
Yeah.
But right, because so it all just tastes like medicine to me.
My taste fundamentally shifted at a
Did
certain
they?
age.
Yeah,
I couldn't eat eggs until I was older. I had a whole thing
Oh yeah,
against
I can
eggs.
do
The
that.
opposite for me.
I-
I now can.
Is there hope for me now?
Really?
I was really weird with food as a kid. Like
Super weird.
I would not like. I couldn't eat a sandwich if I had more than one ingredient. I would eat avocado sandwiches and cheese sandwiches. I like peanut butter and jelly. Too many things.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
They serve that in heaven. What are you talking about?
I love it now,
Okay.
but I love sushi. But I would take it all apart and put everything in different piles, and then eat everything individually. I couldn't.
Oh, my
Wait.
child.
You
No.
must
It was
have been a
that's a
nightmare.
compulsive thing. I couldn't handle things mixed
But
together.
I-
It would freak me
Your
out.
poor parents.
I put you in that same generation as like Maggie Lally, Vesper.
She and I went to high school together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
perfect. Yeah. Like and like Maggie is such a fierce performer, and like Vesta, who's like should be a role model for all goth kids.
Yes, that's true.
And I
I
know.
see each other all the time, and now I don't.
And like Sally was slightly before your time, I guess. Was she? Yeah, she was out of your and then I guess like Chloe Dykstra weirdly was like mixed into that whole. She didn't goth though. She sort of
she's like a
sprouted the other
secret
direction.
She's
Yeah,
a secret god.
there like we have
Self-goth.
we have photographic proof, but we're supposed to keep it buried.
Those are called private selects.
Private-
Chloe
oh.
That's what I call
Stealth
it. Like
god.
the
Private
pictures you have of your
selects.
friends
Private selects.
that never are supposed to see the light of day, but you,
You
have
you
them.
have private selects of us at Renfair, don't you?
Yeah,
I only have one.
Oh my God. Okay.
The best one
it's
ever.
been 2
There
years.
should hopefully more.
Hopefully more. No, because like it's been and who else was there? Was it
amazing photos.
Tenebrae?
It
I
was
was thinking the same thing.
Celebrate Knox was there.
Knox was there, and oh God, who else? This is killing me.
Well, because it's funny, because it's 2 years now in a row for me that I've run into
Just
you guys.
run into all of Critical Role
At
like
Renfair,
drunkenly
yeah.
like
I
stumbling away from
spotted
it.
you guys out. He didn't
I was
see
just
you.
walking straight past.
I was walking like towards you guys, and I go, wait.
Eyes are all
I was like,
cockeyed.
is that Talus? Because I hadn't met you yet, but I'd seen you on
Yeah,
Critical
'cause-
Role,
and-
I was like,
and
that's
you knew
awesome.
that-
And he goes, oh yeah, and he like walks over there, and this is going to be an embarrassing moment.
No, I'm
for me,
already
but
into
it's
it.
Totally fine. So he walks up and he's talking to everybody, and then I just sit next to Travis with my wings, trying not to smash him, and I'm like trying not to fangirl, obviously, 'cause
Yeah.
you guys are amazing, and now I'm friends with you, and it's fine.
Aw.
But like I was like, shaking his hand. And everybody, I was like, getting introduced to everybody, and I was like, I'm so glad I'm in this fairy costume because otherwise I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
The first time I met Travis and Laura was at Ren Fair.
Yeah.
And then the next time was at Ren Fair again.
Yeah.
And then Travis was like, "Oh, you're the one who kept track of my wife." And I was like, "Yeah, I guess if you want to call it that." And
Kept wedding me?
There was some wrangling involved because we were getting drunk and unruly.
I wasn't drunk, so he was
color
like,
your
"Where's
eyes?"
Laura going?" I'm like,
Like, hold on,
"She's
it's over there. You and Stevie were like slowly
Yeah.
like dragging everyone around.
Stevie drew me that day.
Yes, Stevie Drew. There, that's right. Oh, God, that was
in full circle.
man. I'm trying to make you not look like a supervillain.
Be careful not to
It's-
place yourself in the
No,
scene
you
of
will
time.
absolutely make me look like a supervillain. I'm down to clown.
Wow.
It's so fun to actually
I
draw with
almost
all
wore my
these
clown.
different utensils.
Oh man.
I'm having a hard
Oh man.
That's awesome.
Oh man, that's a sci-fi film.
I started really
Oh.
That's so cool.
Oh.
What?
I'm so much cooler than me. I'm into it.
Oh, it's you.
Is there something cooler than you?
No, you're so cool. We put you on the internet.
Me as Satine. As like a Satine sees me. That's way cooler
Oh.
than
My head is.
Thank you guys. I am paying attention to chat. You guys are really adorable, and I'm enjoying
Chat.
it. So
I can't see any of it. It's just a blur.
I will.
This is exactly what I told you what was going to happen.
Yeah.
We were going to just chat,
please.
and be like, oh, hi, chat.
We do that. We do that. We do that. Yeah. No, Sam is totally super villain. That is so true.
Sam,
it's Ragdoll.
Oh.
kill as Ragdoll.
Oh my God. So guys,
Kill as Ragdoll.
Ragdoll and I are the same thing.
Please don't say
Hypermobility.
that. I love Ragdoll.
Do you
But I don't want to
have
human
that-
Ragdoll.
The triple. Yeah, it's just a comic book abstraction of the same thing that I actually just.
so have you just read the which Ragdoll books have you read? Have you read?
I read the Castlevania.
Okay, so you haven't read the Starman cult leader.
We're gonna talk.
That was the dad.
Charlie, yeah, the dad was the creepy Charlie Manson.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Turn your head.
Oh, Ragdoll. We're gonna do a Starman episode of Wednesday
Sam's
Club.
talking about Gail Simone's Ragdoll.
Yeah, which was a
right?
whole different
Right.
thing.
But it was the kid.
It's the kid.
The son?
s-
Or was that ever fully determined?
I don't know. Although now I'm really having ideas.
Yeah, yeah.
We're so inside baseball.
Ragdoll for the let's have a Wednesday Club moment. For those of you who don't know, Ragdoll is a DC pseudo villain. Because
Yeah.
they've got like a villain team of like villains. It's kind of a Suicide Squad-y thing where it's villains
Secret
kind of
Six.
doing the Secret Six.
Not to be confused with the Sinister Six.
No, it's because
No.
man, what is it about six people that makes them sinister?
I could say something really.
I'm sure.
Really off color.
I felt that.
It's in what we don't say.
See what we don't say. But
Y'all feel me. Y'all know what I
Ragdoll's power is that he, although now I'm having some they moments here.
Yeah,
because
right?
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That would be really fun.
I kind of feel like
That's
that was
my
intentional.
favorite new take.
they're-
I'm into it.
All of their joints are can bend in any direction.
Right, it's described in the comics often as triple jointedness.
That's right.
But because that don't anatomy,
Yeah.
really it's just extreme hypermobility.
Right.
And my thing is, I have hypermobility disorder, or Ehlers-Danlos hypermobility type. So my joints flexible so hard they'll just like exit the socket, and that's my thing.
Is that really?
Yeah, so I really am Ragdoll.
Oh my God!
I'm Ragdoll IRL.
Holy shit. Okay.
You may need a suit. Oh my God! No! Going too far. But
No, it's called
it's-
Haven't gone
cosplay.
far enough.
it's such a good cosplay. It's one that I've always been like iffy on because the dad was so creepy. But this
Yeah, no, this I
Yeah.
I think this is time for a fresh take, and maybe I'll inspire my comic friends.
Oh.
And look at Ragdoll.
oh well, like eventually
Gail's watching
Ragdoll
this, 'cause
got.
that's her baby.
Yeah, eventually Ragdoll had surgery too to make them super. Now I'm just thinking about this and I'm really into it.
Yeah, Ragdoll. That's me. So
Non-binary-
if you want to
non-binary
not
Ragdoll.
make me
Which
a
is perfect, for, and the character is
If
so.
it's the character.
Oh my God!
You
Wow,
heard it here first, folks.
this is so good. Okay, no, I'm gonna like really.
yeah, sit with it.
I've no, like this.
I will too.
Breathe it, love it. Smell the beauty.
Oh, because there's that whole thing where they throw them out the. Oh wow, yeah. I'm
Spoilers?
not
Are
going to
you
spoil
spoiling?
anything. I'm not spoiling anything. But it's yeah, it's that would be a great fun thing to play with. Oh my God.
I think it's shoulders.
Yeah.
I'm not even daring. I'm just happy that I'm kind of getting an ear. I'm trying to figure out how to do ears.
I'm not doing you any justice.
There's so many
Sam.
crevasses.
I'm
I don't know. I'm digging that.
Yeah,
It's like
but
a
I'm digging
not
it.
really
fingerprint.
It
Put on
really
your
is.
head.
Yeah.
You know, like that face is so like.
Yeah, there's
You got the angles.
it's the angles. There's all
Sam
this
is
sharpness.
deceptively hard to draw.
We have a few
Seriously, but I
friends
like
who are
challenges.
deceptively hard to draw.
Well, I think it's because, and I'm not saying, I don't mean to say this
Lay
in a
down.
weird way, it's all good. It's the androgynous, right? Like, when you learn how to draw men and women, you draw them because,
The rules.
like, there are very specific rules.
That's right.
But it's fun to have to really draw what's in front
Oh,
of you
man.
with androgyny.
You are a challenging individual.
Delightful.
Your story will never become time.
Whoa. Okay.
Damn it!
Not one, but two.
I switched the color and she still destroyed me.
I took a photo of you so I can get it right later.
Oh, that's
Oh my.
yeah, beautiful.
So cool.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
It's just like
Learning to hate you, Ted.
Oh.
the shape around us. I know. I'll get back to it.
Oh, you even got the hair
It's a
pattern.
new show called Learning to
Learning to
Hate.
Hate.
Jess Fowler with your host Jeffrey Thorne.
I like even the chat room now is giving us a goddamn it test.
This is the show in which we display the drawings of one Jess Fowler
damn it,
and
Tess.
hate upon her for a half hour.
I love you.
Yeah, I'm like I was just starting to figure out how to do the cheeks at this point because they could
That's
cut
interesting.
glass.
I didn't think about it that way, but you're not wrong. It's difficult to lock down.
This is actually because we have a few friends who model, and I definitely know a few androgynous friends who model, and they definitely are specifically brought into classrooms to kick the butts of the students a little bit.
Make you work for it.
Yeah.
But the thing I was leading up to about when I was younger, when I was drawing people and finding their features that they didn't like accidentally, I'm now terrified of drawing real people. It's much easier to draw you guys in cosplay because I'm not going to offend you, even if I get it completely wrong.
You absolutely won't offend me.
To remember also,
Well,
I remember your friends. They were easily offended.
My friends were kind of dicks.
They were kind.
That's
They were the
I'm the
best
only
dicks.
That's
Jew
why I
right now,
fired
like,
them.
I don't have an nervousness about them.
Fire your friends?
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Don't fire him yet, please.
What
Oh
I
man,
find so
I feel so
fascinating
bad.
about
I
you,
love
though,
Brian.
is how mobile your features are.
yeah.
Like
I'm
you're-
waiting for him to
you're
roll through the
liquid,
chat.
you're never
Expressive.
still.
I aspire to that in performance, and I'm like around people like Amy and Gina and like all of the Geek and Sundry kids who just like have these faces that can do amazing things. And so even just
But
getting
you're
that is, like,
you're gorgeous from every angle, and it's so difficult to just pick one way to draw you. Like holding water in your hands, it's so hard.
Yeah.
So I need to try
I
again.
just got artist complimented,
Yeah, you
y'all. I love you.
Someone in chat just said Sam is Alex Mack.
Ah,
That is so true.
I
man.
loved Alex Mack.
Whoever said that, on point.
Yeah,
I may
no.
or may not also have a secret world. You don't know me. You don't know my
Wow.
life.
I definitely.
I'm assuming.
I often wonder where you go when you're not here.
The world itself may be a secret, but that you have it, I think that's pretty obvious.
That's probably public knowledge.
Yeah, I didn't know we weren't supposed to talk about that.
No. I am. It's always distracting because this is a city of pretty people, and yet here we are. It's still in a room full of pretty people.
Don't come here. Nobody comes here.
It's a terrible place.
The traffic is bad
Young
enough.
and gorgeous. Do not come here.
The traffic is actually not as bad
It's
as
not
some
as bad.
places. But we're not allowed to talk about it because what you're telling me is
That's right.
we're trying to say things so that people don't come, so we have more to enjoy.
The original
Got
thing.
it.
We
Limited resources.
we used to lie about the weather to try and get people to move here. This is true.
That's true. Now we're full up. We're full up.
We're full
We're
up.
full.
We're good.
There's not enough water for everyone.
It's really
That's
expensive to
really-
rent an
Exactly.
apartment.
True.
The rent is too damn high.
We steal water from everybody.
Vampire-like
Suck the life from everyone.
Californian water vampires.
fires. It's
That's
so
awesome.
true.
I may have to write that.
We are building the
Tell me,
tank
guys.
creature we want to see. Mer person.
Merpire.
A merpire?
A merpire?
Yeah, because
Don't I talk
if you're using water to like
Vam maid.
As sustenance.
Maybe you're just like a vampire
vamp maid?
Aquaman. or aqua vampire.
This is a terrible.
Aquapire?
This is terrible.
This is terrible.
Hydropire?
They can't. Oh, that's way better.
Hydropire.
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 Sweet.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I like it.
I lost
Yeah, we.
It's fucking hard.
Sam
I'm
is fucking-
scared.
Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. She's a new siren
Yeah. Yep.
for Sirens of the Realms.
I don't know what that is. You can explain it to me.
Well.
What's your game?
So there's a lot of D&D games on the internet, and sometimes you decide you're going to make a D&D game that's just bards.
All girl bard
Our
band.
girl bard band. It is.
Oh, you're lit up. It's like, yeah, baby.
Yeah, and the dungeon master.
That's awesome.
It's the best.
It is D&D like Gem and the Hologram. It was so nuts.
So it's truly outrageous.
It is truly.
Is it truly
It
outrageous?
is. I remember because we were sitting having a conversation like a year, like how long
No,
ago?
it was at Gen Con.
It was at Gen Con,
and
we
you
were just.
looked. You're going.
And we were like, and I had to sit in disguise because you had just figured out that you had to do something because people were starting to notice that you were there.
Yeah, and you were like, oh, were you talking about Critical Role and your thing? And I was like,
I got a thing, and you like told me your pitch. I'm like, oh, that's so fucking.
he was like, that is a really good. You were so mad. You're like, I wish
so
I would have
good.
thought of
That's
that.
the best
Yeah.
compliment in the world, though.
I was like,
I
it's
should've
the
thought of
best.
that.
I should have fucking thought of that. It's so good.
I'm so lucky. The girls, they
And the,
they
They're so nice.
perform and they're so happy. They're so happy and they're so playful.
it gives me the vibe. I pop in on occasion, and it gives me the vibe of like
yeah.
it's like the D&D version of the Monkeys, if that makes
No,
sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of like,
I'm so
I'm so excited.
We're working on the character.
and I think somebody really likes the way it's you.
And I want to guest at some point. Okay.
Okay,
Can I guest
yes.
at some point?
Are you-
you don't,
are
you
you
don't have to
gonna-
say yes right now, but like I want to.
Are you gonna come back as Bandor?
I would love to come back as
Oh
Vandor.
man.
I'm sure Vandor's had a bad time.
Well, no, we figured out how he gets around.
I just assume
I think he's a portal jumper.
A portal jumper?
Yeah,
I'd be into that.
Yeah, because he's from Eberron.
Oh.
But yeah, because Eberron.
or he pissed somebody off and got thrown through a portal.
No, he's a rock star. He's like this. He's this rock star, and
Oh, he's so awful. I
So
love him.
Rudy made the Discord bard, and he basically is Henry
love-
Rollins.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
a
With a
young
war
Henry
loop.
Rollins with not quite as much talent.
Okay.
Definitely not as much talent, and not quite as smart.
Okay.
But he's got gumption and a willingness to
You got
just go
moxie,
at it.
kid. I like that.
I'm not.
Yeah.
You're gonna go far this life.
You're gonna, yeah.
So yeah, he's like a Black Flag style punk screamer.
Yeah.
Well, you have
Bard.
Rollins. You already have.
Yeah.
Like we met his character as he was throwing somebody out a window.
I was throwing someone out a window, and I was using bardic magic, the crown of was
Madness?
the psychic crown
Yeah.
to start specifically to just start a mosh pit because they weren't dancing enough, and so it was like forcing people to start. Punch the guy to your left, punch the guy to your right.
Is your obsession with bards because of your name?
You would. Oh wow, yeah, that's right. You're one of the few who know.
What?
Taliesin.
Taliesin.
Is a famous, powerful bard from
Welsh.
Welsh mythology, and it's kind of it's the bardic equivalent of Merlin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy crap! That is you. You're a
Oh
Merlin
yeah.
bard.
He as a child he wrote "Sing a Song of Sixpence." That was that's attributed to Taliesin.
Yeah.
So appropriate.
Isn't that amazing?
He was yeah.
So appropriate.
You wear
I
your
forget
name
you're one of
well,
the few
my
people
friend.
who actually know that.
Dude, misspent youth in a library.
Bless you.
You just broke the internet.
misspent.
Look, you just
I know,
broke
you
it.
just
Look
wait
what
down,
happened. The
way to go,
prime
Jeff.
Merlin and
This is why we don't let you on the internet. You just broke chat.
What happened?
you just broke
Chat
chat.
is now just like going, what?
What is that? What is that?
Merlin.
Welsh mythology is the shit.
Taliesin was the son of Lady of the Lake who was
Welsh
from Atlantis. Yeah.
Welsh
Bless you, dear
mythology
cat.
is the shit.
Thank you.
Go and
Oh.
delve.
They have scary stuff too,
Yeah,
man.
their monsters are great. Their magic is great.
Hi.
And their version of Christmas is great.
Oh my god, that thing! What the hell is that thing?
No, you cannot explain that now. That has to be the only reaction to what you. You're the Christmas screen. What is that thing?
Well,
When you see it, you're gonna say, "What the hell is
Just
that
look up
thing?"
Welsh Christmas.
we're gonna
I'm
need to
wa-
do another Christmas special next year, so
That would be
we'll
Welsh.
You need to
Can I be Welsh Christmas creature?
Yes. Yes,
Oh.
I permit it.
well, we already went to Santa's Village this year, so we got to do something else. We
have a
brought
train
a
village?
film crew to Santa's Village, and
Alex
I ran around with Whitney Moore. It was great. They let us do terrible things there.
Nice.
We got to get Santa Claus to ice skate. It was great.
I love ice
Sorry, what?
Oh, so we were shooting, and you can find the video if you have an Alpha subscription, and if not, I'm begging them to eventually move it to YouTube. Just this one little bit. I'm working on it, kids.
You know what? This is.
But yeah,
this is
their
a
Santa Claus was an ice
It's not
skater.
gonna sound
Wow.
No, lay down.
like original Joker,
Yeah, no, I'm actually having a bit of that right now.
right? 'Cause
You
you have the
joke-
cheekbones for it.
Similar.
If you-
It
if
reminds
was
me
all
of the Joker that
white-faced
you do.
Joker makeup.
Yeah.
I've
love
never
me some
thought of
Joker.
doing that, and now I
love
might
your
consider
Joker.
it.
Well, don't think modern Joker. Modern Joker's
Yeah.
like, I don't think you can have a skull that works that way. But the original Joker, like literally original Joker, is based on that old horror movie. Character.
The Man Who Laughs.
The Man Who Laughs.
Lon Chaney. Lon Chaney, the Man Who Laughs. Wow, in there.
My people! My people!
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. You can learn a lot about physical acting. Lon Chaney is a man whose face was he was an amazing actor in the film. He was attacked and they cut his face up. He was a circus performer and he can't stop smiling. He has a forced smile.
They call it a
horrific.
smile. They
But-
call that shit a smile if they want.
But-
No, Moscow Smile.
Yeah, and he's in love with this blind performer and he performs so much through the eyes while maintaining this frozen face, and there's just the sadness that he radiates through that is
Chaney
was
underrated,
deeply
he
underrated these day and
invented-
age.
He invented so many makeup techniques just because they didn't exist at the time and he needed to have an effect. So he's that guy who's like, give me a minute, goes back in the room and comes back. Did you just invent putty noses? It's like, we didn't have that last week. It's like, but does the nose look right? You know?
If I'm going to look up the rights to The Man Who Laughs and see if it's one of those things where we could actually like show a little clip on the like a lot of what we don't do on this show is because of legal reasons.
Right.
Legal.
Yeah, which is we're working on it and we're trying to learn what we can and can't do.
This is what we should do. We should have a show that's just old timey things that are accessible.
We could call it
It's like
public domain.
Yeah.
I will watch that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Possibly while we.
Sad how many things I wish were public domain or not, like Pippi Longstocking.
Oh,
this
you
time.
just wait. There, we will have our
We will
day.
have our Pippi. You bite me with that. We're having Pippi.
Really no subject that anyone can bring up that Townsend's not like, in the 17th century.
I know.
They had these, and it's amazing because I think maybe you were just there.
No, one of the reasons
that's
is
how you
I
know.
spent my
There's no
teenage years
maybe about
listening to
them out.
people like this.
You should see our text
Like,
message.
I take
chains.
zero responsibility
You
for any
no
of this
no
situation.
no you have to.
Townsend is literally like the Los Angeles vampire
Yeah, that's
who
true.
has just been there at every club
Yes.
and every.
That is true.
Yeah.
And he's
Except for the secret club.
Except for the secret club, I have.
They don't have it.
We technically did we meet in a club? We met in a club.
Right?
You were selling calendars.
You
or
can do
something.
it. You can do it. But you.
I mean, like we don't have to go in. but
Dragonfly?
There was like or something. It was like the Dragonfly, or it was like one of the
Okay.
clubs. I don't
I have
remember
to
what
picture
club.
me and the Joker with the full purple suit.
But
Jesus Christ, that
Oh,
character.
Townsend gathered.
Geek nerd, because I was there with Chloe Dykstra, and she was one of the
Yeah, Women of Geekdom.
one of the Geekdom, and she's like
He is a horrible
basically like pushed me in front of me. She's like,
But
buy
that's
my
the
calendar,
thing that you
loser.
don't
I'm like,
do.
fine.
That's a whole
And
lot.
here we
People
are.
don't commit to that. They should commit
Oh
to
my
that.
goodness! There's
Like,
literally no one anyone can bring up that Townsend's not like, oh yeah, I knew them in high school.
I know he's one of
How do
those
you know
magnet
Chloe?
people.
Yeah.
That
We're
before
LA
before the
the
internet.
circle
Yeah,
here, though.
locals are a thing. We exist.
Yeah, no, but
So we know
Okay,
no one
let me-
talking
so
about it.
before the internet, yeah.
That's the link.
It's so light, and I need to go pen, but look, your little toes so cute.
Yeah, no, the gesture of the body and everything is super.
Your little
Yeah.
toe, look
I'm doing this. Oh man, I've got a few things I like here, but like.
This is it. This is the
I
one.
do chat.
What the hell?
So we need to get a close up of this one.
Oh, oh my God.
Chat.
Here,
Wait, here.
I'm gonna hold the camera.
That's the reference to Twitter. So like.
Mighty producer Liz is
Yay!
solving this.
Oh,
Wow.
little toe.
So that is chat, and in the background is the Shield of Tomorrow. we have a little Star Trek set
Oh,
right there.
I was shown that earlier. Jody
That's
showed me
awesome.
earlier.
Ooh, this
I
is
am
what we're
now going to be
looking
watching.
Fourth wall,
It's a good
fourth
show.
wall.
The archivist Trent
y'all do a
worked
lot
on
of
those L
crazy
cars with us,
It's
so that it's
it's
accurate and
it's
we're
it's
just amazing.
it's not Critical Role in all the right ways.
In us.
Yes, but
Like,
it's a
it's
format that has been.
You also
created
just
that
broke
I'm
the
like
internet.
amazed and delighted by.
yeah, I really like it.
It's something new.
Did
I
you
think it's
did you
something
ever
truly new.
game? Did you ever?
You know what it is? I played D&D for a while. I played lots of video games for a while, but what always happens is in the middle of it, I'm like, I should be writing. I'm not kidding.
How did you function as an actor? This is like baffles
That's why I
me.
quit.
Oh God,
I was
of course.
always like, I should be writing.
Yeah, and as an artist, you
I
can just
remember
as an
I
actor,
pitched
I
you
go,
on doing
I
more
should be doing
RPG
something else,
here when
but
you
I
were
have
here
nothing
for
to do, and then
Roundtable.
I just keep playing.
Say that again.
Sorry, I remember pitching you more on gaming when you were here for shooting Roundtable, which
Right.
y'all should check out
Yeah,
if
we
you're
had a
on
good time.
Alba.
Oh, yeah.
It's
We had a good
amazing,
time.
and I just
God, your eyes.
but we gotta do the thing. It would be so cool to see you guys. Whoa!
Yeah.
This is the power of technology, my children.
Yeah, this is. Hey, I feel
cool.
Oh, there we go.
Oh my gosh.
The brick
I love it.
Oh wow, that's really.
So I really like. So I have a Cintiq at home, and I got the iPad Pro, which is what you're working on,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
And you're using the special pencil for that
Yeah,
too.
the iPencil.
Only for the brick.
Okay.
The rest, this pencil.
The
That
yeah.
pencil,
iPencil.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is
There's
really
only one, they
cool
only make
because it only takes about a week or so to get used to it.
Yep.
But the textures that you can get, like they are like, okay, you want to draw in watercolor, you can. I mean, it's not like
No.
you do,
Well,
which
wait.
is amazing,
But-
but it actually gives you permission to test,
To play.
and test.
So much of making good art is playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when we start as children, that's the thing that gets us through the bumpy parts, is that you're just playing and you're like, Mom, look at this, Dad, look at this, other friends, look at this. And we were talking about this before. Some child will present, well, this is my picture of an osprey, right? And the parent will try to impose reality upon it. Ospreys don't have 4 legs, honey. It's like, this is an osprey.
Don't you tell me what it isn't.
What part of this is an osprey? Are you not grasping that? Right? Wings, legs, beak, osprey. That's the beak? Get Dad in here. Get Dad in here. Just get the man in here. I don't know.
Traditional angels had 14 pairs of wings. Figure it out.
Right.
Like whatever.
You just see old school whales.
What?
You just see like old school like
On the
etchings of
maps,
whales.
yeah, yeah.
They don't even.
Old school.
I don't know why. they
Horns
look-
and stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
Wait. I want to hear more about the whales.
I
They
know.
kind of just look like giant sea monsters. With, like,
Well, a lot of people who were writing dictionaries, encyclopedias at the early
Had
days when they
never
were
seen a whale.
had never seen the animals that they were describing, which is why you got like people describing the mating rituals as elephants as like male elephants would. The female elephant would lay down and the male elephant would get on top of her,
And then-
literally because they had never seen one before and were just
That never
going with it.
happened.
But no
that
one-
can't happen.
no one complained back then about the whale drawing, so who's to say that's what an osprey drawing should actually
Exactly right. Stupid science imposing rules upon us.
Surrealism.
How dare you?
Surrealism.
Dadaism. Dada is not dead. Mind
Actually
your
looked
overcoat.
like back then.
Imagination.
But yeah,
I've been trying. I've decided.
Yeah.
I started picking apart bits, and I was kicking bits. I got a good half-faced Joker out of this that I'm quite
Nice.
pleased with. You got a little. I mean, like the Joker thing hit, and I got a little too caught up in it, and then I was figuring out that I was
plenty of time.
fighting. Yeah, I was fighting your mouth, and then figuring out where the ear sat.
Fighting your mouth.
And that's how you do
And then
it.
it was like, yeah, it was like I was just trying to figure out how everything came together. But this was fun. There are a couple things on here I'm really proud of.
Oh my gosh. And now that resonates, there was someone who did this amazing art for the Mirror Universe version of my Shield of Tomorrow character, Janelle Rue, and had a lot of that to the shape of the face. And now that I'm seeing it, and now that I'm seeing it in the context of like OG Joker, I'm like,
Yeah.
there was something visually I recognized in this and couldn't pin it. And now
There's
I
a
got
bit
it.
of line.
So
You got a
cool.
bit of line
Is that when you
shading
were all
going
in
on.
green in your feed for a while? Is that your character from that show?
The Facebook and Twitter profile I have is from the character
Doctor
that
Who.
I did with Taliesin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where I actually met you. In
Yeah.
like a real way. I saw you at
We
con,
were friendly, and then that's where I was like, oh, this is someone I would like to get to know better.
Oh,
This is
it was
this
so
is quite
delightful,
pleasing.
and I was a psychic lizard plant creature.
Okay.
And I was
Like you do.
I was
Everyone is.
I was complicated and filled with spoilers.
Please. Yes.
I feel like
Oh,
you
there was so much strength there.
Oh, you.
Bless you.
I could draw him.
Oh.
No,
I
that's,
was
that's the
bald this
ball of
morning.
Taliesin that I love.
I know.
This is the whole thing.
Oh, we can talk. What product were you using, man? This is good.
You're saying you have a little hair now?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
shaved
5
bald
o'clock.
this
Yeah.
morning, and now I've got hair.
Well, it will grow.
I know.
But that's just fast.
It's just fast.
No, I feel you. I'm buzzing this constantly, and it just keeps coming back.
It's because of the weather
Story
change,
of all
guys.
of us. All
Do you use like a
years.
straight razor or?
I'm bald as hell.
I use Dollar Shave Club razor.
Oh, those are great.
Yeah.
I love those guys. We just gave.
I would love to take a real straight razor
would
to
love
your
that.
head one of these days.
I want to
got one.
watch. It's like my thing.
You
It's
gotta grow
fun.
it out first.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
It says Brittany exclamation point.
What's that?
Oh no, I can deal with that.
Filled with
Yeah,
spoilers.
Tal, you and I still need
Like
to do
that.
the straight razor for my comics hair project.
I would love to. Oh. I'll
I just
take
wanna
the special
watch.
drugs that make me not shake as much for that.
I have an art question. So for everybody here, what is the most valuable thing you've learned that's helped you as an artist?
It's a very big question.
Nobody cares. Just keep doing it.
Oh, that's good.
Nobody cares. Just
Freeing.
nobody's judging you. Just do it. Do it. Just do it.
Mine was there's no mistakes in art.
Yep.
When I was little, I would get really angry and frustrated and want to throw things away. And anything that you do on paper, even if you don't like it, it can be fixed. And that was my main issue was, this is a mistake, I hate it, no, it'll never be right. And then I was taught to take it, to keep it, and to keep playing with it. There's never any mistakes in art. I can always look around and tell somebody that was totally on purpose.
I think too, in our world, whether it's writing or drawing or any of the different forms of art, dance, even acting, right? It's one of the few things you can do as an endeavor where you work like an athlete, but you can't break anything really,
Exactly.
right? You're sick.
You say that.
Well, some people,
You are made of glass.
the way they aren't.
From the dance world, we
Yeah.
say hello.
No, I say you can get hurt to some degree, but it's not like a life-changing hurt. It's like, okay, I didn't get that jeté, or I didn't get that line the way I wanted to, and this thing looks maybe ugly to me. The best thing about art is it's subjective. So something you hate, a person can walk in and lean over your shoulder while you're going, God damn it. That Jesus, you're murdering yourself in your own brain, and then some random person walks by and goes, oh my God, I wish I could draw like you, right? They're not wrong, and you're not wrong. You're both right, you know. But why not listen to the voice that's happy, you know?
Yeah, listen to the voice that's happy of all of them.
Right? There's so many voices, and you always choose the one that tells you your shit.
It's so
Don't do
true.
that.
It is so true.
We're so much meaner to ourselves than we would ever be to all of the wonderful people around us.
On that, I think, yeah, well, on that note, I think one of the most important things that I've learned, which is less exactly specific to art, but just in general, is you're not alone. If you're scared or feel frustrated or like things aren't, I don't know, just
I'm with you.
when you think you're not good enough, whatever that voice is inside of your head, and if you think that you're the only one who feels that way, or you feel alone, or that I don't know, that things just don't entirely make sense, you're not alone, and so many other people feel that way. And
Yeah, it's a trap.
kind of all have imposter syndrome, and just no one really talks about it.
I think I'm an artist in my own way. I make things not on paper.
Your medium is
You're,
different.
No, it's
Yeah,
find your
and
medium.
so,
Find it.
like when I do my streams of my makeup and stuff like that, people are like, oh, you know, it's the same thing that you guys are saying. It just takes practice. You know, I was self-taught. Everything I've learned is essentially self-taught. And when I'm doing makeup, I always refer to it being like an oil painting or a drawing, and that there's so many layers that create this one big picture that you have to, like, what I call work through the ugly. Which is like the bare bones of like what you're like working on, and then until the very end is when you're usually like, okay, but then you have to learn, sometimes you have to like stop and step away for a second to see like what you're missing, or like what makes you love it, and that you just got to work through the ugly, guys. It'll end up being beautiful, and that's the great thing about art is it's all subjective. Like one person can like this thing, and one person can like the other thing about it, and somebody will always find something in it that they do enjoy or that they do like. So just work through the ugly.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing, don't wait for inspiration.
Oh my God!
Do
Don't.
not wait. Just chase after it, or just even if it's not there, just find a thing, look up a picture online, and just draw. Even if you don't feel exactly necessarily motivated or you're frustrated with what you're doing, just keep going. It'll be okay.
What does Prince say? Make the rules and break them all because you're the best.
Oh yeah, I like that.
I would say the thing that, for me, that's probably the best is if someone says what you're doing is weird, keep doing it.
Yep.
Whoa, yeah.
Because
What you're doing is weird, dude.
yeah,
I love it.
and I'm gonna keep doing
If
it.
you're, I would keep doing it if I were you.
Yeah.
Also, failure is okay. If,
Greatest teacher.
yeah, if you
Yikes, this is my
if you
happy
don't
place
fail,
right
then you weren't reaching very high.
Also, if you're drawing, save those failures.
Mm.
Like if you've left,
Oh,
if you've got a
yeah.
sketch pad or whatever,
Yeah.
save every page.
I still have
No, I didn't.
all of my sketchbooks.
Oh, yeah.
All of them. Every
I should.
single sketchbook I've ever made, I have, and I don't even have room for them anymore.
Right.
But I have them, and they're kind of like underneath things, packed back behind, and I'll never touch them, or maybe I will.
You don't know. Like
You
you'll
don't
be
know.
flipping through them one day, and there's something you were trying when you were 12 that you couldn't even grasp what you were trying. And as an adult artist, a much more seasoned artist, you'd be like, "Oh, I didn't understand how gravity worked then. But look how neat this way I laid this thing out." Like,
My writing that's one of them. I wrote all this poetry in high school, and there was so much passion in it. And then I started getting self-conscious as I grew up, and I would actually write backwards in my sketchbook so that people, when they flipped through, they only looked at the art. If it was too hard to read, then they won't
they
read
won't
it.
read it. They'll just, "You're like a genius.
Oh, thanks.
You're just
Nothing
like
like-
a genius. You're like exactly like a genius."
Phoenix Goth mentioned I was having so many problems with failure. I feel this is such a trite saying, but it is necessary, which is that it's not failure. You just discovered something that didn't work.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's discovery.
It's all learning.
Oh,
It's all learning.
Absolutely.
awesome quote from Adventure Time.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
And I'm gonna butcher it, but the gist of it is sucking at something is the first step becoming really good at something. Which I'm totally butchering it, but you get the point.
I thought you were going to say I hunt Blackulas.
What? What?
Wow. Wrong show.
No, it's not.
That's Venture Brothers.
It's Venture Brothers. Isn't
Yeah.
that what you said?
Adventure Time.
Adventure
Wrong
Time.
Cartoon Network show.
Oh my God! Is my face brown?
Wow.
I think
Although we love it. Yeah.
as new
Hey,
in the
I'm
ways
so
of the
long.
arts, what I'm learning, because I'm working on logging all of those flight hours, those 10,000 hours that we started off at the top of the show. Find things that make you want to log flight hours.
Yeah.
There's no kind of art that you have to do. No one's making you at the end of the day, especially for those of us who are like self-taught.
Yeah.
Just
Which is
find
everyone
things
in the
that make you
room.
want to
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
do it.
You got formal training.
Yeah, we have formal training.
As we can tell by this amazing.
Oh, it's gonna hurt.
That got weird. This got weird.
Excellent.
Find your medium.
Yeah,
Yeah,
got a little
find your
weird.
medium, find your...
Oh.
No,
I like it.
Okay, we'll back at you.
you're just hard.
Oh.
Bam!
Oh. That's
Sit for a little after Sam.
God, those eyes. I was fighting those
That's what
eyes.
it was. It's the freaking eyes.
I don't even need to look at you anymore. I just drew so much.
But yeah, there's a lot of mediums to play in, and like you work in a series of mediums. You're a singer, you're an actor, you do a lot.
I've done a lot of different performance media, and now I'm trying all sorts of like visual media, and just eventually you may not love every single minute of every single medium you work in, even if it's the one that like you enjoy the most. If you feel decent when you're doing just kind of the humdrum like 4th hour of the day part of it, do it. And like you could draw anything you want to draw. Draw whatever. There's no rules. They don't tell you can't draw fan art.
draw,
Select
dance,
your fan art.
sing.
There's no rules.
Do all of the things. Just
Costume
start.
design.
You can find.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, keep going. For the love of God, please.
Like
Don't
I
stop.
couldn't. I mean, I can draw, but it wasn't
This is
what
my
really
sketch.
like my
Alright, let's get
thing,
Lo-
and
let's
so
swap
I
out.
decided to make stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes now I find like little
So
subgenres.
Thank you
of-
for drawing.
We're doing one last. We're gonna do one last quick sketch.
Lauren.
Lauren, your last one up.
Can someone help me with a chair?
And the hair.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I find other like I don't know categories of the thing that I like to do. Like so, I like crafting and making things, and I just picked up quilting
Oh.
as like a sub, like a little another category because I wanted something else in that. So I feel like for an artist, it's like if you draw with like pencil, maybe trying watercolors or something else that maybe something will spark in it that you enjoy more.
There's a lot of things too. I think people.
And
I
Ipsum.
think people feed younger people a bill of goods about what's allowed to be called art and what's not. Quilting, for instance, has a huge, rich history. There are story quilts. There are
Right.
message
This
quilts.
is quilting is an art.
It is.
I mean, what asshole says it isn't?
A lot of assholes say that because
People
it's just
doing
blankets, is why.
just
Blankets are the
Or,
best.
and here's another thing,
Because
it's
they
something that
haven't
used to
done
be
it.
something only women did, therefore how could it be art?
It's so richly steeped in folklore, and it's like such an.
Right,
Jacket out there
but that's
has
the
a
point.
maple quilted back patch on it.
People
The
will,
maple leaf on
people
it.
will take in that negative information.
Yeah.
And they'll look at what they do.
only have a couple minutes left.
Let's go
so
through
you're
some
gonna
quick sketches
Speed
of-
draw, Lauren. Ready, go.
Christ.
I'll say as somebody who's not a very whose talent is very thin with drawing. I used to go to drink and draws, and I would write short poems about the people. I would do an exercise my grandfather taught me about writing, where I would describe objects, people, or things that were happening without using adjectives,
Oh, nice,
and just avoid any adjective whatsoever. Just describe it entirely in nouns and verbs.
nice.
And it was, and I would write these kind of short form poems. They were the only poems I ever wrote that were any good.
Creative constraints are so great.
Yeah.
Such a gift.
No, it was an intense writing cardiovascular exercise.
I just want to look at the face.
His perfect example of
even
it
know
was
if I'm drawing right now.
the gold
It's
brick,
just-
the lemon wrapped around a gold brick to describe the Pangalactic Darble Blaster.
Yes.
Already.
Is that just? That's such a great image.
Nonsense poetry too, like
Yeah.
all the old Edward Lear, Lewis
Oh, Carroll, yeah.
right?
'Twas
all that
brilliant.
nonsense poetry, but it also teaches you like there really aren't any fundamental rules. The rules that when we talk about the rules in art, what we're talking about is largely format, how to structure something, blah blah blah. That's like
Yeah.
learning to the alphabet. You know, after that, it's like whatever you want, man, or lady, or person. You know,
Yo. Dragon.
yeah, or
Dragon.
dragon.
I love
Or city
I
car.
hope you guys have had fun watching all of us. Just
Thank you,
be,
thank you guys for and next week we'll be back with more Erica Ishii.
She's giving me shit on Twitter.
That's what she does. She is she does not sleep. She
I almost
She's awesome.
cosplayed her today.
that would have been.
I didn't have a little wig though.
Do you like my bullshit artist outfit? I even like.
Aw.
I'm going to draw you.
Draw me like one of your
How-
French girls.
Favorite.
Draw. Yeah, I was gonna say yes.
They said show
I was gonna say draw me like one of your
That was my
French pastries.
speed
That's your speed sketch?
Yeah.
What?
All right, we all quit.
Oh my god, I freaking quit.
It's called
How?
pen flipping. When you set a table. flip.
How dare you? You brought me out here to humiliate.
Yeah, these are
I
great.
finally found a night I could. I'm so delighted to have you out, and we're gonna get you out here more, man.
I want to come out here enough that you stop gushing. That's what
That will never happen.
No.
Should we?
I want to finish this.
Yeah, no, finish. We're gonna roll. You finish it, and you're gonna have to sit and finish it while I remind you that like you are so responsible for helping turn me into a reasonable human being.
Oh dear God.
And
Oh wait, you're reasonable now.
Well, you didn't see him before.
And now
No,
tell
I was
us
a
that
mess.
you've passed the torch and now
I was a
tell us
shit
it helps me
teenager.
human.
I do, and I love helping you human. You're great.
Yeah, I'm not great. Humaning confuses me, and Talison's basically like my life manager.
Thank
and
you.
that's what friends are for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a mutual thing, even though I'm slightly older. You gotta get in where you fit in a
Yeah.
way.
And like I loved writing with you also. Like we used to do this like
That was fun.
that was really nice, and it improved me greatly.
There's no
Chat to you.
no rules.
Hi, chat. We have had a lovely evening, but it is now time for us to slowly wind it up, and I'm going to keep talking very slowly about all the ways that we're winding it up, so that everyone can finish their little quick sketches. Starting on my as the crew is like, oh really, with their finger on the button.
The GNS logo just
That's where the GNS logo like hits me in the face.
You're making the mom laugh. Stop it.
Starting on the far left. Let's sign ourselves out and tell everyone where they can catch us next week.
Yeah, I'm Sam DeLev. You can find me again on Twitter at Tchaikovsky, ChaiKovsky, and everywhere else on the internet at DeLevely. You can catch me here on Geek and Sundry on Shield of Tomorrow, 4 to 7 p.m. Pacific time on Fridays, and Behind the Shield, our after show at 7:30 on Alpha. You can also find me on Plunders and Blunders podcasts, which come out every week on Monday, wherever fine podcasts are distributed, and Saving Throw Show on Sundays for Tempting Fate RPG.
Yes.
I don't have any of all that stuff. I'm Jeff Thorne. I got a Black Panther cartoon coming out sometime this year.
You should watch everything that Jeff Thorne
I wrote on Leverage. I wrote on The Librarians. I got a stack of stuff on Amazon, books, short stories, comics, all kinds of crazy
Star
stuff.
Trek books, all sorts
Star
of stuff.
Trek books. Yeah. Just go.
You have all the things. Get all the things.
I have many things. So just GEOFFREY Thorne with an E on the end. Go.
My name is Alexander Ward. You can find me at AlexWard777 on Twitter. You can catch me next doing something, and I dare you to figure out what that is.
And wherever nightmares
Wherever nightmares are
happen.
sold.
Yeah,
What are you
I'm trying to make a mustache and you keep moving. There we go. I'm so sorry.
We're very serious here.
I don't know. I'm Taliesin Jaffe. You can find me on Wednesdays on the Wednesday Club talking about comic books because of what this terrible bastard did to me. And
I reject terrible. I might be a bastard. But I'm very good.
he's a very good, very, very excellent professional bastard. And you can find me on Thursdays on Critical Role. And oh wait, we got it. Look at that, solid.
Yes.
She looks better though.
You can find me on Critical Role and on Fridays on Gather Your Party, and we're gonna have Erica Ishii back next week. And to my right,
I'm Satine Phoenix at Satine Phoenix on all of the things you can find. There's a new Eberron show. Twitch.tv/MeZarkana. Where am I? Right there.
There, yes.
Hey. Yeah, so it's called Mythmaker Society. Mythmaker Society. Watch it. March 21st is the premiere. Sirens of the Realms will come around March 27th. And yeah, I'm on the internet.
on the internet.
Beast.
Hi guys, bye guys, good night guys. I'm Brittany. You can find me on Twitch as Lady Danger, no Y, 2 E's, and you can find me on Twitter under Brittany Michelle, and then I will see you guys on the next season of Sirens of the Realms.
So exciting!
I'm Tess Fowler. I'm on Twitter, usually talking about Critical Role and the Critical Role hashtag. You can find me there and everywhere else.
I am Lauren Ipsum, and you can find me on all of the social medias at Lauren Ipsum, Lauryn. Everyone spells it wrong. IPSUM, or in the middle of the night, in absolute panic, texting Taliesin, asking him how
How do I do this?
and like frolicking around the office, wreaking havoc.
Yeah, it's wonderful. We love it. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you have. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next week with more wonderful programming here on our Insane channel.
Woot, 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 woot.